Chapter 548. Rank 2, Reverse Beast King. As expected, you are hiding your strength. Unfortunately, your opponent is me. You'll definitely lose this battle. Yi Qinfeng's opponent, the number 1 genius of the rank 6 Huang family, Huang Yueguang, a rank 3 Beast King, held a 9-foot 9-inch long spiraling sky spear in his hand. He pointed the tip of the spear at Yi Qinfeng and spoke arrogantly. You'll definitely lose in one move. Yi Qinfeng held his hands behind his back and looked at Huang Yueguang disdainfully. Huang Yueguang felt that he was already very arrogant, but compared to Yi Qinfeng, he found that he was still lacking. Good. I want to see how you'll defeat me in one move. Huang Yueguang was so angry that he laughed. A dazzling golden bird appeared around him, and a blinding light illuminated the entire martial stage. Absolute Monarch Spear. Raising his strength to the limit, Huang Yueguang roared. Holding the inferior Grade Heaven tool, Spiral Heavenly Spear, he stirred up the air currents. Like a flood dragon emerging from the sea, he pierced through the void and thrust his spear at Yi Qinfeng. For Million Jin, break! Huang Yueguang's spear pierced towards Yi Qinfeng, and an ancient heavy hammer that weighed 100,000 Jin appeared in Yi Qinfeng's hands. The power of the spiritual pearls in his Shunmen Acupoint, Yongquan Acupoint, and Shanzhong Acupoint erupted and poured into the ancient heavy hammer. Bang! When the two heaven artifacts collided with each other, a deafening sound of metal exploding erupted. The force of 4 million Jin was like a violent tide as it knocked away the spiral spear in Huang Yueguang's hand and bombarded his body. PFF. Huang Yueguang's defenses shattered, and he was sent flying. He vomited a mouthful of blood and slammed into the ground, unconscious. After defeating Huang Yueguang in one move, Yi Qinfeng felt a powerful dragon chi pass through his body and enter the dragon mark on his forehead. It was faintly showing signs of condensing into a dragon tail. One move. That Su Mingwei really defeated Huang Yueguang in one move. Seeing Huang Yueguang fall to the ground with serious injuries and fall into a coma, many people's jaws dropped, revealing a look of horror. It could be said that the scene of Yi Qinfeng defeating Huang Yueguang in one move was even more breathtaking, brilliant, and shocking than his strong performance in the Battle Royale. Yes. Sitting in the stands, Heisher Wuji's eyes suddenly widened. He looked at Yi Qinfeng as if he was looking at a prey. His eyes were full of fighting spirit. What great strength! The strength of that hammer strike just now has probably reached 8 million Jin of force. Since when did the profound underworld sect have such a terrifying inheritance? Mo Fengyun's eyes flashed with a strange light. He couldn't help but look at Yi Qinfeng a few more times. As he looked, he suddenly felt that Yi Qinfeng gave him a sense of déjà vu, as if he had seen him before. After defeating Huang Yueguang in one move, Yi Qinfeng didn't waste any time. His body flashed, and like a swan, he leaped out of the arena and onto the spectator stand. Mingwei, you did well. Whether you can enter the top 16 or not, the battle just now is enough to make you famous in the Western continent. When we return to the profound underworld sect, I will definitely reward you handsomely. Shui Yuruo looked at Yi Qinfeng with watery eyes. She kept making promises, afraid that he would abandon her. It's like, Master, don't worry. I will let the profound underworld sect be in the limelight in this Dragon Lake Sacred City martial arts competition. Yi Qinfeng vowed solemnly. After saying that, Yi Qinfeng closed his eyes and silently adjusted his breathing. He controlled the God-Eater brain to devour the dragon aura in the dragon-shaped patterns to increase the strength of the two-headed Blood Dragon King. As the God-Eater brain continued to devour, the dragon aura in the dragon-shaped patterns kept decreasing. However, Yi Qinfeng didn't care about it. He believed that he had the ability to condense a complete dragon aura body. As time passed, the 64 contestants went up the stage one after another. Except for Yu Zhongqian, Yu Bingyu, Mo Wuong, Yu Yiheng, Ying, and Shi Luo Mo, who attracted Yi Qinfeng's attention. He turned a deaf ear to the rest of the contestants. However, Yu Zhongtian, Mo Wang, and the others' opponents weren't strong. They easily defeated their opponents and only revealed the tip of the iceberg. When it was close to noon, the first round of the semifinals ended. Everyone had a short time to recover and prepare for the second round in the afternoon. About 2 hours later, the second round of the competition began. The disciples of the various superpowers went up the stage one after another and fought fiercely for the precious dragon aura in the Dragon Lake Sacred City. After 3 rounds of intense fighting, it was finally Yi Qinfeng's turn. His opponent was the second genius of the Three Corpses sect, the Corpse Mosquito Diagram, a rank 3 Beast King. Mosquito Diagram, that kid from the profound underworld sect, isn't simple. Don't be careless, the Three Corpses sect master said solemnly after witnessing Yi Chunfeng defeating Huang Yue Guang in one move. Don't worry, sect master. He will die for sure. Corpse Mosquito Diagram said confidently. His confidence came from the 3 sky corpses that he had refined for more than 10 years. Mingwei, be careful of the Three Corpses sect killing you. If you can't do it, just admit defeat. When Yi Qinfeng stood up, Shui Yuruo reminded him softly. If anything happened to him, it would be a fatal blow to the profound underworld sect. I won't lose. After Yi Qinfeng finished speaking, he summoned his soul wings and soared into the sky. He flew directly to the battle arena and met the ferocious Corpse Mosquito 2's cold gaze. Kid, cherish your last moments. The tall and thin Corpse Mosquito Diagram opened his mouth and revealed a mouthful of disgusting yellow teeth. He looked at Yi Qinfeng coldly and said with killing intent, "You have bad breath." Yi Qinfeng frowned and took a step back as he said in disgust, "Damn it, what did you say?" Corpse Mosquito Diagram's face sank as he berated loudly. "You have bad breath." Yi Qinfeng repeated and said, "Is this the secret weapon of the Three Corpses sect?" "Ha ha!" Just as Yi Qinfeng finished speaking, the quiet arena burst into laughter. The ear-piercing laughter made Corpse Mosquito Diagram so angry that his face turned green. His body was trembling, and veins were popping out on his forehead. "You are courting death." Yi Qinfeng's ridicule had completely infuriated Corpse Mosquito Diagram. He was like an angry and hungry wolf as he let out an uncontrollable roar. A blood mosquito appeared on his body and pushed his strength to rise steadily. In the next moment, the enraged Corpse Mosquito Diagram made his move. He held a low-grade heaven artifact blood-color battle saber and slashed at Yi Qinfeng. Ho! When a murderous Corpse Mosquito Diagram approached Yi Qinfeng unreservedly released his killing intent that was accumulated from blood and bones. It exploded into Corpse Mosquito Diagram's body at close range. After being attacked by Yi Qinfeng's terrifying killing intent, Corpse Mosquito Diagram's heart trembled. A trace of fear appeared in his heart, and his reaction became a bit sluggish. Taking advantage of this opportunity, 4,000,000 pounds of strength surged into Yi Qinfeng's right fist like a surging tide. It formed a terrifying fistlight that carried an unparalleled pressure as it bombarded Corpse Mosquito Diagram's chest. Not good. Sensing danger, Corpse Mosquito Diagram reacted instinctively. He quickly placed his blood-colored battle saber in front of his chest to block Yi Qinfeng's ferocious fist. Bang! Yi Qinfeng's fist landed on the blood-colored saber. Together with the blood-colored saber, it slammed into Corpse Mosquito Diagram's chest, shattering his sternum and almost sending him flying out of the arena. "You want to kill me with just this bit of strength? You're really naive." Yi Qinfeng looked arrogantly at Corpse Mosquito Diagram, who was vomiting blood and kneeling on one knee, and mocked him without holding back. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button below to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 549. I will kill you. The Corpse Mosquito Diagram spat out a mouthful of blood and rapidly burned his spiritual beast bloodline to suppress his injuries. He then slashed with his blood-colored battle saber. Reckless. Seeing the corpse mosquito diagram's murderous aura, Yi Chanfeng took out his ancient heavy hammer and wanted to use all his strength to defeat the corpse mosquito diagram's attack and kill him. Just as the two heaven artifacts clashed, a murderous light flashed across the corpse mosquito diagram's eyes. An iron-plated heavenly corpse, which was clad in iron armor and wrapped in arm-thick iron chains and was emitting dense death aura, suddenly split out from the corpse mosquito diagram's body and launched an attack at Yi Chenfeng. Yi Chenfeng didn't panic when he was suddenly attacked by the iron-plated heavenly corpse. The ancient heavy hammer that was filled with 4 million kilograms of force didn't lose its momentum and heavily smashed onto the blood-colored battle saber in the corpse mosquito diagram's hand. The powerful force forcefully cracked the battle saber and caused a large amount of blood to spurt out from the corpse mosquito diagram's arm. On his left hand, he imprinted the high-grade soul skill of the profound underworld sect that had been passed down for tens of thousands of years, the Nether Extinguishing Seal. He imprinted it onto the iron-plated heavenly corpse's arms that were piercing towards him, blocking his killing blow. In the instant Yi Chenfeng forcefully resolved the crisis, his sharp senses suddenly detected danger. 2 sparrow-sized, blood-red venomous mosquito blood corpses with poisonous needles that were as sharp as swords suddenly emerged from the iron-plated heavenly corpse's body and attacked Yi Chenfeng's head at a speed that was hard to be seen by the naked eye. These 2 venomous mosquito blood corpses were the corpse mosquito diagram's true trump card. Kid, you are still too inexperienced. Die obediently. After his plan succeeded, the severely injured corpse mosquito diagram revealed a malevolent expression. In his mind, he was already imagining Yi Chenfeng's tragic end. When Shui Yuruo and the others saw that Yi Chenfeng was in danger, their hearts immediately clenched. They didn't dare to continue watching. Seeing that the 2 venomous mosquito blood corpses had succeeded in their sneak attack, Yi Chenfeng's powerful soul spirit completely locked onto their attack trajectories. His finger that was as tough as a high-grade heaven artifact pointed out strangely and tapped on the bodies of the 2 venomous mosquito blood corpses at lightning speed. The terrifying finger force directly pierced through the tough bodies of the 2 venomous mosquito blood corpses and sent them flying. What? How is this possible? How can his reaction be so fast? The blood mosquito corpse's sneak attack had failed, and the smile on Corpse Mosquito 2's face suddenly froze. He didn't dare to imagine that Yi Chenfeng could actually make such a precise response in such a short period of time and neutralize the blood mosquito corpse's attack. Is this what you're relying on? Yi Chenfeng revealed a cold smile as he looked at Corpse Mosquito diagram, whose expression froze. Beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. Then, he walked over with heavy steps and mocked him. Iron-armored heavenly corpse, poison mosquito blood corpse, attack. The development of the competition was out of control. Corpse mosquito diagram felt a strong sense of unease in his heart. He decisively controlled the iron-armored heavenly corpses with terrifying defense and the heavily injured venomous mosquito blood corpses to besiege Yi Chenfeng, making a final gamble. When the 3 heavenly corpses attacked, Yi Chenfeng's entire body spun and constantly smashed down with the earth-shaking hammers, attacking the 3 heavenly corpses ferociously. Under the attack of the ancient heavy hammers that were filled with 4 million kilograms of force, the 3 heavenly corpses were immediately smashed into pieces. The tough martial stage constantly echoed with deafening tremors. I admit, the 3 heavenly corpses were destroyed by Yi Chenfeng. The severely injured corpse mosquito diagram knew that it was over. He didn't dare to persist and was about to admit defeat. But the moment he opened his mouth to admit defeat, Yi Chenfeng's eyes burst out with a large amount of illusion Dao patterns and poured into his eyes. It instantly bewitched his consciousness, causing him to have a slight delay in his reaction. He didn't manage to shout out the last word. It's over. In the next moment, there was a flash of light under Yi Chenfeng's feet as he appeared in front of Corpse Mosquito diagram with lightning speed. He quickly pointed his finger and tapped on Corpse Mosquito diagram's head. Bang! 4 million kilograms of force burst out from Yi Chenfeng's fingertip. The powerful finger force directly exploded Corpse Mosquito Diagram's head and ended his life. After Corpse Mosquito Diagram died, a large amount of dragon aura immediately gushed out from the martial stage. It went through Yi Chenfeng's feet and drilled into the dragon pattern on Yi Chenfeng's forehead. It condensed into a lifelike dragon tail in one fell swoop. Damn it! You dare to break the rules and kill my 3 corpses sect disciple. When he saw Corpse Mosquito Diagram lying in a pool of blood and dead, Taoist 3 corpses felt like his lungs were about to explode. He suddenly stood up and roared in exasperation. Corpse Mosquito Diagram was different from ordinary people. Taoist 3 corpses had always nurtured him as a core force. It could be said that Corpse Mosquito Diagram's death had directly shaken the 3 corpses sect's future foundation. It had a huge impact on the 3 corpses sect. May I ask how I broke the rules? When he heard Taoist 3 corpses roar, Yi Chenfeng, who was enveloped in dragon aura, slowly turned around. He looked at Taoist 3 corpses' furious eyes and asked without any trace of emotion. Just now, Mosquito Diagram clearly admitted defeat. Why did you kill him so viciously? Don't you know that Lan Yuan's sacred city has a clear rule that if one side admits defeat, they can't kill? Taoist 3 corpses aggressively questioned. Did he admit defeat just now? How come I didn't hear it? Did head Elder Emo hear it? Yi Chenfeng sneered and deliberately asked Emo Qianli, who was floating in the air. Although Corpse Mosquito Diagram wanted to admit defeat, he didn't finish speaking. Su Mingwei didn't break the rules. Emo Qianli said coldly as he looked deeply at Yi Chenfeng, who gave him a sense of familiarity. Fine. Although Taoist 3 corpses was arrogant, he didn't dare to be impudent in front of Emo Qianli. He could only grit his teeth and swallow his anger. He sat down resentfully. The competition became more and more intense. Soon, each group's competition ended. In a highlight match, Xiaolu Xiao, the number 1 genius of the Black Evil Grotto and a 4th-rank Reverse Beast King, was defeated by the number 3 genius of the West Devil sect, Emo Qinshin. Xiaolu Xiao was thoroughly defeated in the competition, which let the major forces once again witness the strength of the West Devil sect. After killing Corpse Mosquito Diagram, Yi Chenfeng immediately got rid of all distracting thoughts. He controlled the God-Eater brain to continue devouring the dragon aura in the dragon-shaped patterns, increasing the power of the 2-headed Blood Dragon King. Apart from a few highlight matches, he spent the rest of his time quietly adjusting his breathing. Soon, the afternoon passed. When the sun was setting in the west, the second round of group matches ended. The experts of the various major powers left the arena that was filled with a murderous aura and went to their respective places to rest and prepare for tomorrow's matches. When he arrived at the ancient courtyard, Yi Chenfeng casually found an excuse and went to his own ancient room. He laid down a large number of restriction runes and sealed the entire room. Sigh, I have too few attack methods at my disposal. Although he had won the 2 matches easily, Yi Chenfeng knew that the real test was yet to come. If he really encountered Yu Zhongqian, Yu Bingyu, Emo Wuwang, and the others, he was far from being their opponent with the current methods he had mastered. But once he exposed his trump card, Dao Will, and bloodline power, Emo Fengyan would definitely be suspicious and guess his identity. At that time, he would be in even more danger. How can I increase my attack methods in such a short time? Yi Chenfeng frowned and thought hard. He took out treasures from the universe mirror and thought hard. When he unintentionally took out the mysterious broken sword that he had obtained in the treasure pavilion of the Heavenly Fire Martial House, an accident happened. The broken sword seemed to be summoned by a mysterious force and suddenly became restless, as if it wanted to break free from Yi Chenfeng's control and fly out. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 550. What's wrong with the broken sword? What's attracting it? When Yi Chenfeng saw the mysterious broken sword struggling intensely, Trying to break free from his control, he raised his eyebrows, revealing a surprised expression. Other than saving his life in the cemetery of death, the broken sword in Yi Qinfeng's hand had not shown any other signs of abnormality. Originally, Yi Qinfeng had already forgotten about it, but now it was showing signs of abnormality in Longyuan's sacred city. Could there be another part of the broken sword in Longyuan's sacred city? Thinking of this possibility, Yi Qinfeng decided to take a risk and explore Longyuan's sacred city based on the broken sword's reaction in the dead of night. The night was getting darker, and the entire Longyuan sacred city was quiet. After midnight, Yi Qinfeng used the soul-devouring tactic to conceal his aura and quickly dug a hole in the house. He left the ancient courtyard that was covered by the formation map secretly and appeared in the quiet Longyuan sacred city. Over there, Yi Qinfeng took out the vibrating broken sword and sensed it. His body flashed and blended into the night, quickly flying towards the northwest of Longyuan sacred city. This is the place. Yi Qinfeng quietly flew on the dark ancient road for about 30 minutes and came to a stone palace that seemed to have been abandoned for a long time. He found that the broken sword was vibrating more obviously here. Formation pattern. Why are there so many formation patterns hidden in this stone palace? Yi Qinfeng stepped on the ancient stone steps and walked into the abandoned stone palace. The god-devouring brain, which was operating at high speed, sensed a large number of formation patterns hidden in the ground of the stone palace and felt a little suspicious. Just as he closed his eyes and controlled the power of the god-devouring brain to radiate out to sense the formation patterns hidden in the ground of the stone palace, the restless broken sword suddenly broke free from his control and disappeared into the hard ground of the stone palace at a speed that was hard to be seen by the naked eye. Yi Qinfeng was stunned and decisively chased after the broken sword. He broke the ground of the stone palace and dived down for hundreds of meters before he was blocked by an extremely dense formation pattern restriction. Space-swallowing bug devoured the restriction. Feeling that the restriction formation hidden in the ground was powerful, Yi Qinfeng immediately summoned the space-swallowing bug that had already recovered from its injuries from the heaven and earth mirror and ordered it to quickly devour the restriction formation. The restriction formation hidden in the ground was extremely powerful. It took the space-swallowing bugs more than an hour to devour a gap that was about half a person's height. Flying through the gap in the restriction, Yi Qinfeng appeared in a pitch-black space. When he held the moonlight stone in his hand and illuminated this pitch-black space, he discovered that in this pitch-black space, there was a 3-meter-tall stone tablet covered with 20 golden lines. And right above this mysterious stone tablet, there was half a sword that was constantly humming. The mysterious broken sword that had just broken free from Yi Qinfeng's control was currently dancing around this half of the sword. As expected, the other half of the sword is here. Looking at the half of the sword that was inserted on the mysterious stone tablet, and the material was exactly the same as the mysterious broken sword, Yi Qinfeng revealed a surprised expression. He didn't expect to find the other half of the mysterious broken sword in this ancient Longyuan sacred city. What is the origin of this broken sword? Whose sword is it? Looking at the two parts of the broken sword that seemed to have a life of their own, Yi Qinfeng increasingly felt that this sword was not simple. He was very curious about its origin. Broken sword, come. In this mysterious space that was isolated from the world, Yi Qinfeng didn't have any scruples. The soul power in his body and the strength of 5 million kilograms burst out from his body and gathered into a giant energy hand. He grabbed the mysterious broken sword and forcefully grabbed it. Following that, Yi Qinfeng gathered the giant energy hand again and grabbed the other half of the broken sword that was stuck on the mysterious stone tablet. He wanted to pull it out from the stone tablet too. Buzz, buzz, buzz. When the giant energy hand grabbed the other half of the sword, there was an ear-piercing, sword-humming sound. Streaks of sharp sword patterns shot out from the stone tablet and shredded the giant energy hand that Yi Qinfeng gathered, not giving him a chance to pull out the other half of the sword. Sword Dao pattern. This is a sword tablet. Looking at the sword patterns that shot out from the stone tablet, Yi Qinfeng raised his brows. He wasn't surprised, but delighted instead. He didn't expect to find a Sword Dao tablet in Lonyuan Sacred City. If he could comprehend the Sword Dao intent contained in this Dao tablet, his attack power would be greatly enhanced, and it would increase his life-saving trump card. God-Eater Brain, infiltrate. Yi Qinfeng's mind moved, and the God-Eater Brain's power radiated out completely and penetrated into the Sword Dao tablet. He quickly engraved and comprehended the Sword Dao pattern contained in the stone tablet. It turns out that the other half of the sword had fused with the Sword Dao tablet. That was why I was attacked by the Sword Dao tablet when I tried to forcefully pull out the other half of the sword. When the God-Eater Brain penetrated into the Sword Dao tablet, Yi Qinfeng realized that the other half of the sword had fused with the Sword Dao tablet. They couldn't be separated and had become one. Roar! Roar! Just as Yi Qinfeng was trying to break the connection between the other half of the sword and the Sword Dao tablet, there was an extremely ferocious roar from below the Sword Dao tablet. Large amounts of black energy appeared like blood vessels and appeared in the Sword Dao tablet. It wanted to permeate the entire Sword Dao tablet. Buzz! 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 The black energy quickly spread out, and the other half of the sword that was stuck on the Sword Dao tablet suddenly fused with the Sword Dao tablet's power. It projected out endless Sword Dao patterns like a blooming barrier and quickly shredded the black energy. For a moment, an energy that made Yi Qinfeng feel fear was released from the Sword Dao tablet. It ruthlessly blasted onto Yi Qinfeng's body. Yi Qinfeng's physical body might be comparable to a high-grade heaven artifact, but when he was hit by this horrifying energy, he still vomited blood and was in extreme pain. Just as the other half of the sword and the black energy were fighting fiercely in the Sword Dao tablet, the sword hilt in Yi Qinfeng's hand once again broke free from his control. It flew onto the sword body and miraculously fused with it. It fused. The sword hilt and sword body have fused. Could this sword not be damaged, but separated due to some special reason? Yi Qinfeng's eyes widened as he looked at the mysterious sword that had fused into one and repaired the sword body. He felt that this sword was hiding a huge secret. In the next moment, the mysterious sword that had fused into one suddenly increased its attack power. It crushed the black energy like a hot knife through butter. Soon enough, the violently trembling Sword Dao tablet calmed down again. There's a problem. There's a problem with this Sword Dao tablet. Could it be that it is suppressing something extremely ominous? Yi Qinfeng didn't think that the Sword Dao tablet would have such an unforeseen event. He felt that this place was very unusual. It might be related to a huge secret, and this secret might endanger his life. However, the Sword Dao tablet and the mysterious sword were too attractive to him. He couldn't give up. After hesitating for a while, he decided to stay. He would control the God-Eater Brain to understand the Sword Dao pattern in the Sword Dao tablet. He would then think of a way to take the mysterious sword away. If an accident really happened and the Sword Dao tablet was released to suppress something extremely ominous, there were so many combat beast emperors in the Dragon Abyss Sacred City. There would be someone to help him. Yi Qinfeng took a deep breath and suppressed the surging blood energy in his body. He sat cross-legged under the Sword Dao tablet and controlled the God-Eater Brain to emit soul power into the Dao tablet. He quickly comprehended it. This time, there were no more accidents in the Sword Dao tablet. Yi Qinfeng seized a limited time and quickly controlled the God-Eater Brain to engrave Dao patterns and comprehend the Dao intent. Soon, more than 4 hours had passed. Sensing that the sun was about to rise, Yi Qinfeng, who had engraved several Sword Dao patterns, didn't stay for long. He quickly left this mysterious space and disappeared from the abandoned stone hall like a ghost. He went through the underground passage and arrived at the ancient courtyard. A new week, requesting Red Envelope's mobile reading website. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 551. At the first glimmer of dawn, figures started to appear in the ring-shaped arena that was filled with killing aura. Experts from various factions had already arrived at the arena and were waiting for the next round of competition to begin. Mingwei, your opponent today isn't strong, but don't be careless because of this. There are no mediocre people who can enter the Dragon Lake Sacred City's semifinals. Shui Yuruo, who was on the spectator's stand, looked at Yi Qinfeng, who was resting with his eyes closed, and reminded him softly. In Yi Qinfeng nodded symbolically as he controlled the god-devouring brain to devour the dragon aura and understand the engraved sword Dao pattern while waiting for his match. Soon enough, the third day of the competition began. Disciples from various factions went up the stage to compete. Intense battle cries, shouts, and screams intertwined together, pushing the atmosphere in the arena to become more and more intense. Although Hong Lin and Chao Yun's strength was second to none in the profound underworld sect, they could only be considered to be at the bottom in the Dragon Lake Sacred City's semifinals. When faced with the top geniuses from the various forces, they were completely powerless. It didn't take long before they lost the third round of the competition and basically lost the chance to advance. It's finally my turn. After waiting for more than 2 hours, it was Yi Qinfeng's turn. He stood up slowly and flew to the arena amidst the cheers of the Stygian underworld sect's disciples. He was waiting for his third opponent, the Yushi sword sect's prodigy, Grade 2 Reverse Beast King, Ma Guanjian. Ma Guanjian's cultivation level might not be high, but he was a prodigy. He had comprehended the sword Dao to the first level and was known as the #1 prodigy among the Yushi sword sect's younger generation. You are very strong. You are the strongest expert I have seen in my life. If you can take 7 moves from me and remain undefeated, I will admit defeat immediately. Ma Guanjian hugged a snakeskin longsword with both hands and looked at Yi Qinfeng with sharp eyes as he spoke with high battle intent. All right, then I will take 7 moves from you with my bare hands. Yi Qinfeng liked this straightforward way of speaking. He nodded and agreed without hesitation. Silence as he stood on the spot, waiting for Ma Guanjian to make his move. Clang! With an ear-piercing sword hum, Ma Guanjian's snakeskin sword was unsheathed. A glaring sword light shone into Yi Qinfeng's eyes. At the next moment, Ma Guanjian's body turned blurry and attacked Yi Qinfeng like a bolt of lightning. Ma Guanjian's sword was too fast, so fast that no one could react. In the blink of an eye, the low-grade heaven sword his hand stabbed towards Yi Qinfeng's throat. Just as Yi Qinfeng's throat was about to be pierced by the sword, 2 of Yi Qinfeng's fingers suddenly appeared in front of the sword's trajectory, clamping down on the tip of the sword, preventing it from moving forward. In the next moment, 4,000,000 Jin of force shot out from Yi Qinfeng's fingers, passing through the low-grade heaven sword and into Ma Guanjian's right arm. The tremors caused Ma Guanjian's arm to feel a hint of numbness, and he almost lost his grip on his sword. Such immense strength. After exchanging moves with Yi Qinfeng, Ma Guanjian finally realized how terrifying Yi Qinfeng's strength was. He no longer concealed his strength. 10 sword Dao patterns gushed out from his body and fused into the low-grade heaven sword. He forcefully pushed away Yi Qinfeng's fingers and continued to attack. Streaks of sword shadows shot out violently, enveloping Yi Qinfeng like a violent storm. Due to the speed of his sword strikes being too fast, it gave people the illusion that he wasn't cleaving with a sword, but with streaks of lightning that drew across the sky. It was so fast that it was too much for the eyes to take in. Ma Guanjian's fast sword intent was rather powerful, but under Yi Qinfeng's powerful soul spirit perception, it wasn't a threat at all. Yi Qinfeng effortlessly dodged the fast sword's trajectory and dealt with his attacks calmly. I still have one more move. If you can withstand this move of mine, I will immediately admit defeat. Seeing that Yi Qinfeng was unscathed and was able to withstand his 6 killer moves, Ma Guanjian burst out with a yell. His entire body skimmed into the air as he executed his strongest killer move, Lunar Dusk Sword. The 10 sword Dao patterns gushing out from Ma Guanjian's body instantly converged. It was like the tide of the moon on the horizon. It swept across the void and was as deep as the stars as it cleaved towards Yi Qinfeng. All right, then let's decide the victor in one move. Looking at the whistling sword edge and the awe-inspiring lunar dusk sword, vermilion gene of force gushed into Yi Qinfeng's right fist. With a single punch, an unparalleled and horrifying sword light was shot out. The boundless fist light compressed the 4 million gene of force to the limit and crushed the spatial zone, causing ripples to appear. Crack! Two powerful forces clashed together. Ma Guanjian's lunar dusk sword shattered like glass. The horrifying fist light didn't reduce in power as it bombarded towards Ma Guanjian, whose expression changed drastically. He couldn't dodge in time and was sent flying. PFFF. A large amount of blood sprayed out from Ma Guanjian's mouth. He was like a kite with a broken string as he fell to the ground from midair and lost the match. Powerful, too powerful. I didn't expect the mysterious underworld sect to actually produce a dark horse. It seems like he might be able to kill his way out of the 7th group and enter the top 16. Let's wait until he defeats Shi Luo Mo or Mo Lu Qing to enter the top 16. Shi Luo Mo's strength is the strongest in the 7th group, and no one is a match for him. However, I feel that Su Mingwei has the strength to fight with the West Devil Sect prodigy, the female devil, Lu Qing. However, it is hard to say who will win. After witnessing the scene of Yi Chanfeng defeating Ma Guanjian, many people were once again disappointed by his strength. They started to discuss incessantly. After defeating Ma Guanjian with absolute strength, Yi Chanfeng, who had fused with a large amount of dragon aura, didn't waste any time. He directly flew out of the arena and went to the spectator stand. He continued to control the God-Eater brain to comprehend the Sword Dao pattern and absorb the dragon aura from the dragon-shaped pattern to strengthen the two-headed Blood Dragon King. The competition was in full swing, and soon, the morning's competition was over. During the morning's competition, there was another focal battle. It was the battle between the West Devil Sect's #1 genius, Mo Wuwang, and the Dark Shadow Tower's #2 genius, Kuei. The Dark Shadow Tower was the #1 assassin organization in the Western continent. They had inherited a large amount of unfathomable assassination, soul skills, and Dao intents. Facing Kuei's endless stream of strange and swift soul skills, Mo Wuwang didn't dare to be careless and dealt with them seriously. The two of them fought intensely for about 30 minutes before Mo Wuwang relied on his formidable strength to suppress Kuei's attacks and finally defeated him. This battle allowed the various major powers to witness Mo Wuwang's strength, and his chances of becoming the champion continued to rise. This Mo Wuwang is indeed a strong opponent. If it wasn't Mo Wuwang who went to Ancient Sky City back then and not Azure Ice Mountain, I'm afraid I wouldn't be his match. After witnessing the battle between Mo Wuwang and Kuei, Yi Qinfeng had a general understanding of his strength. Furthermore, he had a feeling that Mo Wuwang had only used about 50% of his strength in the previous battle. He hadn't even used a single one of his trump cards. The morning's competition passed very quickly. The various major powers contestants took advantage of the afternoon break to quickly adjust their condition and prepare for the afternoon's competition. About 2 hours later, the 4th match was about to begin. And for the 4th match, Yi Qinfeng was the first to go up. His opponent was the Shi clan's genius, Shi Sun, who was known for his defensive abilities. After witnessing Yi Qinfeng's shocking strength, Shi Sun knew that he wasn't a match for him. He used all his strength to block more than 30 moves before his body's defenses were shattered, and he had no choice but to admit defeat. At this point, Yi Qinfeng had won 4 matches in a row. However, his remaining 3 matches were all tough fights, especially his last match against Shi Luo Mo Shui Yuro was filled with worry. However, Yi Qinfeng's thoughts had already drifted to the Sword Dao steel below the abandoned stone hall. He couldn't wait to continue comprehending the sword intent contained within the Sword Dao steel. He wanted to increase his offensive strength and pull out that mysterious sword. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the save button below to record your reading history. You'll be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 552. It was late at night, and the sky was filled with sparkling stars. It was gorgeous and mysterious. Sensing that it was quiet outside, Yi Chenfeng immediately left the ancient courtyard through the hole that he dug last night. He quickly arrived at the abandoned stone hall. With the help of the Space Devourer, he entered the mysterious space and continued to comprehend the Sword Dao pattern in the Sword Dao steel. He had a feeling that if he could comprehend the Sword Dao intent in the Sword Dao steel, he would have a great chance of pulling out that mysterious sword. The moment of enlightenment was always very short. Seeing that Yi Chenfeng had comprehended the Sword Dao intent to the third heavenly layer, he calculated the time and felt that it was almost dawn. He had no choice but to stop comprehending the Sword Dao pattern and leave quietly. He went to the ancient courtyard to prepare for today's competition. Yi Chenfeng's 2 matches today were tough battles, especially the battle with the West Devil Sect's genius, Devil Luqing. He didn't dare to be careless. After dawn, Yi Chenfeng took a simple bath in his room and met up with Shui Yuruo and the others who were waiting outside. They headed to the martial arena to prepare for the 4th day's competition. Mingwei, today's 2 matches are very important. If you win both matches today, you will be able to enter the top 16 even if you forfeit tomorrow. However, your 2 opponents today are very strong, especially Devil Luqing. She is an expert in your group who is second only to Shi Luo Mo. So you have to go all out. If you can't, you have to use your trump card, Xianming Extreme Dao. Shui Yuruo was a little worried about today's battle and warned him seriously. I know. After speaking, Yi Chenfeng closed his eyes and waited in silence for his match with Xie Yiquang in the morning. With the arrival of all the major factions, the 4th day of the competition began. Among them, the most popular was the Yu family's prodigy, Yu Zhongtian. He defeated the Yu family's prodigy, Yu Yingguang, who had won 4 matches in a row and shocked everyone. And Obscurus, who had caught Yi Chenfeng's attention from the beginning, was even more terrifying. With just 1 move, he had severely injured Mo Ranjin, who had won 4 consecutive matches and had a high chance of entering the top 16. The competition was in full swing, and soon, it was Yi Chenfeng's turn to fight. His opponent, Xie Yiquang, had only lost to Shi Luo Mo. He was Yi Chenfeng's strongest opponent so far. Xie Yiquang's character was as arrogant as his name. He looked at Yi Chenfeng with contempt and said, "Kid, your good luck has come to an end. If you don't want me to break your neck, you better kowtow and admit defeat. That way, I'll be in a good mood and spare your life. You really talk a lot of nonsense." Yi Chenfeng looked at him coldly and said without a trace of emotion, "Nonsense." Xie opened his mouth and said in a sinister voice, "I'll let you know right away whether or not I'm talking nonsense." As he spoke, a powerful, baleful aura emanated from his body. He was like an evil wolf that had been lying in wait for a long time. He bared his sharp teeth, preparing to attack. Childish. Sensing Xie Yiquang's baleful aura locking onto him, Yi Chenfeng shook his head and didn't move. He took a light step forward. This step might be very light, but once it was taken, Yi Chenfeng's entire aura had a drastic change. With his body as the center, a horrifying killing intent emanated. It tore apart Xie Yiquang's baleful aura and caused the air in the entire martial stage to freeze. And interesting, since you don't know what's good for you, I'll fulfill your wish. Xie Yiquang was startled, and his expression instantly turned cold. 2 6 feet and 6 inches long low-grade heaven swords that were covered with ancient dark patterns appeared in his hands. He launched a fierce attack at Yi Chenfeng. Just as Xie Yiquang's body spurted out 5 sword Dao patterns and intertwined into sharp sword shadows, 30 illusion Dao patterns suddenly appeared in Yi Chenfeng's eyes. They were like resplendent starlight that poured into his eyes. Xie Yiquang's strength might be impressive, but his soul spirit wasn't his forte. When he was attacked by 30 illusion Dao patterns, a large number of illusions immediately appeared in front of his eyes. His reaction was slightly delayed. Seizing the opportunity when Xie Yiquang's reaction was delayed, Yi Chenfeng swiftly blasted out a palm strike. The palm light that was filled with 4 million kilograms of force brought along an unparalleled pressure and ruthlessly smashed onto Xie Yiquang's chest. It shattered Xie Yiquang's body defense and forced him to retreat repeatedly. A large amount of blood spurted out from his mouth and splattered on the ground. After succeeding in one strike, Yi Chunfeng didn't give Xie Yiquang any chance to catch his breath. The illusion Dao patterns of his eyes burst out again and poured into Xie Yiquang's eyes. It continued to confuse Xie Yiquang's consciousness and made him unable to counterattack with his full strength. Third level of the illusion Dao intent. Mingwei actually comprehended the illusion Dao intent to the third level. What kind of fortuitous encounter did he obtain in the mysterious underworld cave? Looking at the 30 illusion Dao patterns that burst out from Yi Chunfeng's eyes, Shui Yeruo and the others' hearts were in turmoil as they revealed intense astonishment. Yi Chunfeng's performance had completely exceeded their expectations and gave them a huge surprise. Boom! Boom! In just 10 breaths of time, Xie Yiquang's physical injuries were so severe that he vomited blood and fell to the ground like a dead dog. He was howling in pain and had almost lost his combat ability. Do you admit defeat? Yi Chunfeng looked down at Xie Yiquang, who was covered in blood and severely injured, and asked arrogantly, I don't like to repeat myself. If you insist on not admitting defeat, then don't blame me for being merciless. Yi Chunfeng looked at Xie Yiquang, who was still trying to resist, and warned him coldly. Don't tell me you want to kill me? Do you know the consequences of killing me? Xie Yiquang didn't expect Yi Chunfeng to be so bold as to threaten his life in front of everyone. He forced himself to get up and roared furiously at Yi Chunfeng. Since you don't know what's good for you, I will fulfill your wish. Yi Chunfeng's eyes flashed with killing intent as a suffocating force locked onto Xie Yiquang. I admit defeat. Sensing the killing aura from Yi Chunfeng's body and seeing that he was really going to kill him, Xie Yiquang knew that Yi Chunfeng wasn't scaring him. Yi Chunfeng really dared to kill him and had no choice but to admit defeat in humiliation. Su Mingwei wins. Hearing that Xie Yiquang had admitted defeat, the tournament supervisor, the West Devil Sect's elder, immediately announced in front of everyone. He didn't want to give Yi Chunfeng a chance to kill him. After defeating Xie Yiquang, a large amount of dragon aura continued to surge out from the stage and poured into the dragon pattern on Yi Chunfeng's forehead, faintly condensing 1/5 of the dragon aura body. After defeating Xie Yiquang with ease, Yi Chunfeng flew to the spectator's stand under the astonished gazes of everyone. He closed his eyes and continued to regulate his breathing, absorb the dragon aura, and deduce the sword Dao pattern. Lu Qing, that Su Mingwei's strength is unfathomable. When you fight with him in the afternoon, you must resist the corrosion of the illusion Dao intent. Otherwise, you will probably end up like Xie Yiquang. Mo Liuqing's master, a West Devil Sect's elder who still retained her beauty, warned sternly when she saw Yi Chunfeng's performance. Don't worry, master. I have my own ways to restrain his illusion Dao intent. Mo Liuqing, who was wearing a dark red martial Dao robe and had a large jade green gem around her neck, spoke with confidence. Her eyes flickered with dense battle intent. She was looking forward to the battle with Yi Chunfeng and ending his winning streak. The tournament continued with endless excitement. Witnessing the battle between the top geniuses of the Western continent, the spectators in the spectators' stand cried out in satisfaction. Soon enough, the tournament on the 4th day ended, and the top 16 were about to be born. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 553. The scorching sun was scorching, and there wasn't a single cloud in the sky. The entire martial arena was so quiet that it was somewhat depressing. After several hours of deduction, the statue-like Yi Chunfeng had successfully comprehended the 6 sword Dao patterns engraved by the God-Eater brain. In addition to the 23 sword Dao patterns that he had comprehended earlier, He only lacked one more sword Dao pattern to cultivate his sword Dao intent to the third heavenly layer, which would greatly increase his attack power. At this moment, the afternoon semifinals were nearing its end. With Shui Yurua's reminder, Yi Qinfeng abruptly woke up from his epiphany. "It's my turn." Yi Qinfeng opened his eyes, and the sharp light that burst out from his deep eyes made Shui Yurua's heart palpitate. It was as though she was being stared at by the world's most venomous snake, causing her hair to stand on end. "Senior Brother Mingwei, do your best. You must win." Hong Lin, who was wearing a red dress, clenched her fist tightly. She looked at Yi Qinfeng, who was slowly standing up with a steady aura, and cheered for him. And Yi Qinfeng nodded and leaped down from the spectator stand. He flew to the martial arena and held the ancient heavy hammer that weighed 50,000 kilograms. Silence as he waited for his opponent, Mo Luqing. Seeing Yi Qinfeng on the stage, Mo Luqing, who was wearing a dark red martial Dao suit and looked like a poisonous rose, tapped her toes lightly and turned into a dazzling afterimage in midair. She cut across the sky and appeared on the martial arena in a stunning manner, right in front of Yi Qinfeng. Silence. Mo Luqing looked at Yi Qinfeng and felt his natural aura presence. Her beautiful eyes couldn't help but reveal a trace of seriousness. She had a feeling that Yi Qinfeng was much stronger than she had imagined. He gave her a feeling of invulnerability. However, as the Western Devil Sect's elite prodigy, she also had a powerful trump card. She believed that her trump card was enough to turn the tide and defeat Yi Qinfeng. As the competition supervisor gave the order, the competition started. Swish, swish. Two ear-piercing sounds rang out as Yi Qinfeng and Mo Luqing moved at the same time, launching fierce attacks at each other. Just as the two of them were about to clash, Yi Qinfeng's eyes shot out 30 illusion Dao patterns which penetrated into Mo Luqing's eyes. He wanted to confuse her consciousness and gain the upper hand. Buzz buzz. As the 30 illusionary Dao patterns pierced through, the huge green gem on Mo Luqing's neck suddenly shot out a ray of illusory light. It surged into her mind and formed a protective layer, forcefully resisting the attacks of the illusionary Dao patterns. Yes, a soul-protecting xenogenic treasure. Yi Qinfeng raised his brow, not expecting Mo Luqing to have such a rare soul, defensive exotic treasure. Azure Cloud Silk Coil. The moment the green gemstone blocked the illusion Dao pattern attack, two dark green ancient patterns flowed on it. They were low-grade heaven artifact, grade cloud silk, and they shot out from Mo Luqing's body. They coiled around Yi Qinfeng's body like spirit snakes. "It's over. You have lost." After successfully coiling around Yi Qinfeng, Mo Luqing's exquisite face revealed a trace of a cold smile. A huge, colorful snake with a single horn emerged from her body and enhanced her soul power. "Blood Devil Seal." Mo Luqing yelled out as her hands twisted rapidly, forming an extremely powerful Blood Devil Seal. She launched a fatal attack at Yi Qinfeng, wanting to severely injure him in one go and in the battle. Not good. Ming Wei is in danger. Seeing Yi Qinfeng being tightly coiled by the azure cloud silk, Shui Yurua and the others had a drastic change in expression as they stood up from their seats. As for Mo Luqing's master, the plump West Devil Sect elder, she revealed a faint smile and was no longer worried. It is still too early to say that it is over. Just as everyone thought that Yi Qinfeng was going to lose, the power of the four spirit pearls in Yi Qinfeng's body burst out. His physical strength instantly reached 5 million kilograms of force and filled his body. Break! Yi Qinfeng let out a roar as volcanic energy erupted from his body and poured into the low-grade celestial artifact, the azure cloud silk. The violently boiling power of 5 million gene tore apart the azure cloud silk that was wrapped around his body. Following that, Yi Qinfeng quickly punched out, bombarding Mo Luqing's Blood Devil Seal at close range. He relied on his absolute strength to block her sure kill attack. What kind of power is this? Is he a humanoid monster? Mo Luqing's eyes widened. She couldn't believe that Yi Chunfeng relied on his absolute strength to tear apart the low-grade Azure Cloud Silk and block her sure-kill attack. On the spectator stand, Heisher Tuji felt Yi Chunfeng's explosive physical strength, and his eyes immediately burned with fighting spirit. He couldn't wait to fight with Yi Chunfeng to determine the victor. Devil Sect Master, who is that white-clothed disciple? The Yu family's third elder also revealed a trace of interest towards Yi Chunfeng. He turned to ask the frowning Mo Fengyun. His name is Su Mingwei. He is a disciple of the 6th rank, profound underworld sect. This was because Yi Chunfeng had once given Mo Fengyun a familiar feeling. After watching his competition, Missouri Fengyun immediately sent people to investigate him and found out his name. However, Mo Fengyun didn't do any in-depth investigation and didn't know much about him. For a 6th rank power to be able to raise such a genius, it seems this child must have had some other fortuitous encounter. If he can enter the top 8 of the martial meet, my Yu family is willing to raise him. The Yu family's third elder revealed a trace of interest towards Yi Chunfeng. He was planning to recruit him into the Yu family. Relying on his absolute strength to break Mo Liuqing's sure-kill attack, Yi Chunfeng immediately launched a tidal wave of attacks at her, suppressing her attacks and forcing her to retreat again and again. Myriad Change, Black Lotus. Seeing that Mo Liuqing had been forced out of the arena by Yi Chunfeng, she clenched her teeth and quickly ignited her Spirit Beast Bloodline and Blood Chi to condense the extremely destructive Myriad Change Black Lotus and attack Yi Chunfeng. Yi Chunfeng was well aware of the destructive power of the Myriad Change Black Lotus. However, the power of this Myriad Change Black Lotus was less than a tenth of Mo Fengyun's. It couldn't pose the slightest threat to Yi Chunfeng. Ancient Heavy Hammer, break. Yi Chunfeng clenched the Ancient Heavy Hammer with both hands. His 5 million kilograms of strength surged into the Ancient Heavy Hammer and smashed into the Myriad Change Black Lotus with unstoppable force. An earth-shattering explosion rang out. The Ancient Heavy Hammer, which contained a force of 10 million Jin, detonated the 10,000 transformations Black Lotus. Endless black light spread out and bombarded Yi Chunfeng and Mo Liuqing at close range. Puffed. Mo Liuqing's body trembled, and a mouthful of blood spurted out of her mouth. Her entire body uncontrollably flew out of the arena. Mo Liuqing didn't expect to lose the battle without using her strongest trump card. Yi Chunfeng was also forced back by the explosion of the Myriad Change Black Lotus. A trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. However, this trace of blood wasn't caused by Yi Chunfeng's injury. He had deliberately forced it out to create the illusion of an injury, to confuse Mo Fengyun and the others so that they wouldn't be suspicious. He won. Mingwei really defeated Mo Liuqing. When Shui Yuruo and the others saw the severely injured Mo Liuqing fall out of the dueling ring, Shui Yuruo and the others were pleasantly surprised. Even if Yi Chunfeng lost to the Sure Luo Demon in the final match, he would still advance to the top 16. 1/3 of the Dragon Aura body. After defeating Mo Liuqing, Yi Chunfeng immediately felt a powerful dragon aura drilling into the dragon pattern on his forehead. However, because a lot of the dragon aura in the dragon pattern was devoured by the 2-headed Blood Dragon King, he only managed to condense 1/3 of the dragon aura body after winning 6 battles in a row. It was far from half of the dragon aura body condensed by Sure Luo and Mo Sect Master. I was heavily injured in the battle with Mo Liuqing. I want to go and recuperate first and prepare for tomorrow's battle with Sure Luo, Mo. Yi Chunfeng, who was pretending to be injured, said in a low voice. Mingwei, do you need me to help you recuperate? Shui Yuruo asked nervously. No need. I have a way to heal my injuries in a short time. However, no one is allowed to disturb me while I'm recuperating. Otherwise, it might worsen my injuries. Yi Chunfeng shook his head and said, All right, I'll ask Hong Lin to send you there. Thinking of Yi Chunfeng's means and his mysterious Beast Emperor Realm Master, Shui Yuruo did not insist. She asked Hong Lin to escort Yi Chanfeng to the ancient courtyard in advance. When he arrived at the ancient courtyard, Yi Chanfeng immediately entered the house and set up hundreds of restriction formations to seal the entire ancient courtyard. Then, he quietly left through the tunnel in the house. With his powerful soul perception, Yi Chanfeng avoided a lot of trouble and once again came to the mysterious space under the abandoned stone hall. He controlled the God-Eater brain to continue comprehending the Sword Dao steel. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Collect button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 554. Sword Dao Intent, 3rd level. Yi Chanfeng sat cross-legged under the Sword Dao tablet and comprehended in silence for more than 6 hours. Finally, he comprehended the 30th Sword Dao pattern, and his Sword Dao Intent reached the 3rd level. As his Sword Dao Intent increased, Yi Chanfeng's body flashed and appeared on the Sword Dao tablet. He released 30 Sword Dao patterns and fused them into the mysterious sword. He wanted to forcefully cut off the connection between the Sword Dao tablet and the mysterious sword. 5 million pounds of force. The moment the 30 Sword Dao patterns appeared, Yi Chanfeng gripped the mysterious sword's hilt tightly. His arms exploded with 5 million pounds of force as he tried to pull it out from the Sword Dao tablet. Gotcha! Under Yi Chanfeng's 5 million pounds of force, the mysterious sword that was stuck on the Sword Dao tablet loosened a little. It caused cracks to appear on the Sword Dao tablet. At this moment, a large number of Sword Dao patterns gushed out from the Sword Dao tablet and attacked Yi Chanfeng. They didn't want to give him a chance to pull out the mysterious sword. Roar! 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 Just as the Sword Dao tablet was attacking Yi Chanfeng ferociously and forcing him away, there was a deafening roar. A large amount of demonic energy appeared under the Sword Dao tablet again. It penetrated the Sword Dao tablet at an extremely fast speed, trying to break it apart. When the black demonic energy appeared, the mysterious sword and the Sword Dao tablet resonated at the same time. They released the Sword Dao patterns to destroy the demonic energy. The two powerful forces clashed fiercely in the Sword Dao tablet. After more than 1 hour, the demonic energy was once again destroyed by the mysterious sword and the Sword Dao tablet. However, after the intense attack, cracks appeared on the surface of the Sword Dao tablet again. Many golden ancient patterns were cracked, which greatly affected the Sword Dao tablet's power. It seems like this Sword Dao tablet is suppressing an ominous object. I just don't know how this ominous object, the mysterious sword, and the Dragon Lake Sacred City are related. Looking at the cracked Sword Dao pattern, Yi Chanfeng frowned. He didn't dare to continue pulling out the mysterious sword. He continued to sit under the sword steel and controlled the God-Eater brain to engrave the Sword Dao pattern contained in the sword steel. Soon enough, one night had passed. Sensing that the sun was about to rise, Yi Chanfeng, who still wanted to continue, had no choice but to stop engraving the Sword Dao pattern. He left this mysterious spatial zone that was filled with strange mysteries and arrived at the ancient house that he temporarily stayed in like a ghost. He was waiting for the sun to rise for the final group match with the Corpse Luo demon. Although victory was not related to advancing to the top 16, in order to plunder more dragon energy, nourish the two-headed Blood Dragon King, and condense a complete dragon energy body, Yi Chanfeng still decided to fight with all his strength and advance with a perfect record. About half an hour later, a soft ray of morning light penetrated the night sky and illuminated the world. It was daybreak. Mingwei, how are your injuries? If you haven't recovered yet, why don't you give up today's competition? When she saw Yi Chanfeng, who had changed into a new set of clothes, walking out of the ancient house, Shui Yora, who had been worried about his injuries, immediately went up and spoke softly. Don't worry, Sect Patriarch. My injuries are basically healed. I can fight the Corpse Luo demon with all my strength. Yi Chanfeng's mouth curved up slightly as he spoke with a confident smile and high battle intent. All right then, since your injuries are healed and you insist on fighting, I won't persuade you anymore. However, If you lose to the corpse Luo demon in the end, you must remember not to force yourself. Your life is the most important thing. Shui Yuruo reminded him solemnly. She was afraid that he would have an accident and cause the mysterious underworld sect to lose its future pillar. Don't worry, sect patriarch. I know what I'm doing. Let's go to the martial arena. After finishing his words, Yi Chunfeng and the group left the ancient house and headed for the martial arena. Just as Yi Chunfeng and the group appeared outside the martial arena, they coincidentally bumped into the group from the Three Corpses sect. When Yi Chunfeng and the corpse Luo demon's eyes met, invisible sparks flew. The atmosphere instantly became oppressive. I hope you won't give up like a girl and admit defeat in front of everyone. When the corpse Luo demon met Yi Chunfeng's eyes that were as deep as the ocean, he opened his mouth and revealed his slightly yellow teeth. He deliberately provoked him. Don't worry, I will do as you wish and fight with you. Yi Chunfeng said calmly. No one could guess what he was thinking. Then I will wait for you. The corpse Luo demon laughed arrogantly and did not continue to argue with Yi Chunfeng. He turned around and walked into the martial arena. Luo demon, kill that brat for me at all costs. I don't want him to live to see the sun tomorrow. When he thought about how the corpse Mosquito 2 and the rest died in the hands of Yi Chunfeng, the Three Corpses sect patriarch was so angry that he gritted his teeth and gave the order to the corpse Luo demon. Don't worry, sect master. He will definitely die. The corpse Luo demon solemnly vowed. As the various large powers experts arrived, the final group battle began. Other than the battle between Yi Chunfeng and the corpse Luo demon, the battle between the Western Devil Sect's number 2 genius, Mo Baifeng, was also worth looking forward to. Sect Master Mo, how about we make a bet? Let's see if your disciple is stronger or if my disciple is stronger. The Western continent's number 1 loose cultivator, the demonic Taoist, smiled faintly as he looked at the black rock earth pole who had inherited his legacy and was born with divine strength. Haha, what do you want from me? Mo Fengyan laughed. His relationship with the devil Taoist was clearly not bad. My disciple is lacking a high-grade celestial item. How about we bet a high-grade celestial item? If I lose, I will give you my high-grade bloodthirsty celestial item, said the devil Taoist. It seems you are very confident in your disciple. Mo Fengyun smiled. All right, I'll bet with you. With a peak-grade celestial item, Mo Fengyun no longer cared about high-grade celestial items. He very happily made a bet with the devil Taoist. And at this time, the battle between the Black Rock Earth and Mo Baifeng began. As soon as they came up, the two of them used all their skills and fought fiercely. For a time, a large number of afterimages appeared in the entire martial arena. The attacks were like thunder, too much for the eyes to take in, dazzling and dazzling. Although Mo Baifeng's talent was extraordinary, and he had replaced the dead Bing Songshan as the number 2 genius of the Western Devil Sect's younger generation. Whether it was in terms of cultivation or attack power, there was a certain gap between him and the Black Rock Earth. After fighting for over an hour, his attacks were gradually suppressed. Death Black Wheel. With his attack being countered, Mo Baifeng immediately executed his killer move. 15 dark Dao patterns shot out from his body and fused together, forming 7 flying wheels that emitted dense death chi. They tore apart the violent air and spiraled towards Hey, Sure Tuesday, Celestial Dipper Fist. Black Rock Earth fiercely took a step forward, and 5 million kilograms of strength erupted from his body. He sent out a tyrannical fist light that shook the black wheels. Great Devil slaying Dragon Blade. Just as Black Rock Earth was relying on his absolute strength to destroy the 7 black wheels, Mo Baifeng soared into the sky. His entire body fused with the mid-grade celestial item saber in his hand, and he used his strongest move, man and weapon as one, as he slashed at the unavoidable Black Rock Earth, wanting to end this battle in one move. Earth Dao Intent Defense. At the crucial moment, 30 Earth Dao patterns shot out of Black Rock Earth's body, forming a whirlpool of Earth Intent above his head. He forcibly blocked the Great Devil slaying Dragon Blade. What? Earth Dao Intent, 3rd Heaven Stage. Mo Bifone didn't expect Black Rock Earth to have comprehended the Earth Dao Intent to the 3rd Heaven Stage and block his killing move. While he was still in shock, Black Rock Earth took advantage of the moment when he used the Great Devil slaying Dragon Blade and once again sent out a Celestial Dipper Fist. The tyrannical fist light that contained 5 million kilograms of strength smashed through Mo Bifone's defense, sending him flying. He raised his head and spat out a mouthful of blood as he fell off the stage, losing the battle. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click Save at the bottom to record this reading. Next time you open your bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 555. He Shi Tuji, this is a strong opponent. After witnessing the scene of He Shi Tuji defeating the number 2 genius of the Western Demon Sect, Mo Bifone, Yi Chenfeng had to admit that this person was very strong. He was a very strong opponent. Without using his trump cards and bloodline power, it would be very difficult for him to defeat this person. Haha, Sect Master Mo, you let me win. Seeing that He Shi Tuji had the last laugh, the demon Taoist laughed and won a high-grade heaven artifact from Mo Fengyan. After the battle between He Shi Tuji and Mo Bifone ended, Yi Chenfeng closed his eyes and rested, waiting for his battle with Shi Luo Mo. After more than 2 hours, the first 5 rounds of the battle ended. Finally, it was Yi Chenfeng and Shi Luo Mo's turn to focus on the battle. Mingwei, remember not to force yourself. Your life is the most important. Although Yi Chenfeng appeared to be very calm, Shui Yuruo was still worried about his safety and warned him seriously. And Yi Chenfeng nodded. Holding the ancient heavy hammer that weighed over 100,000 jin, he leaped up and landed heavily on the martial arena like a deity descending from the heavens. Luo Mo, kill him at all costs. Looking at Yi Chenfeng, who had a sharp gaze and a straight back, emitting a domineering aura, Daoist Sanchi's eyes shot out a murderous glint as he ordered fiercely. He will definitely die. As he said that, Shi Luo Mo summoned a level 6 heavenly beast-level black tortoise corpse, about 3 meters in diameter, its entire body dark gold, its 4 limbs like stone pillars. Stepping on its several meters thick and indestructible shell, Shi Luo Mo flew onto the stage. Such a terrifying, refined corpse. A grade 5 reverse beast king and a grade 6 mystic turtle corpse. I'm afraid that Su Mingwei won't have any chance of winning. That's right. This mystic turtle corpse is only the first refined corpse that Shi Luo Mo summoned. I wonder how terrifying his other 2 heavenly corpses are. Feeling the terrifying aura of the mystic turtle corpse, many people exclaimed. Almost no one thought that Yi Chenfeng could defeat Shi Luo Mo Dao pattern of death. Yi Chenfeng looked at the mystic tortoise corpse that was constantly roaring with bloodshot eyes. With a thought, the God-Eater brain's power radiated out and seeped into the mystic tortoise corpse's massive body. He discovered that its body was filled with more than 10 death Dao patterns. According to the information from the God-Eater brain, these death Dao patterns had a special connection with the Shi Luo demon. The Shi Luo demon was using these death Dao patterns to control the mystic tortoise. After discovering the secret of Shi Luo's ability to control corpses, Yi Chenfeng was no longer worried about the threat of the sky corpses. He had already thought of a way to deal with them. Su Mingwei, as a man, do you dare to fight me to the end and never admit defeat? Shi Luo Mo pointed the tip of his spear at Yi Chenfeng, provoking him. It was a medial grade heaven artifact. Why wouldn't I dare? The corners of Yi Chenfeng's mouth curled up slightly as he replied, without backing down. Mingwei, you can't fight him to the end. When Shui Yuo heard that Yi Chenfeng actually agreed to fight Shi Luo Mo to the end, her expression changed drastically. She immediately stood up and shouted to stop him. Yi Chenfeng's performance in the first 6 rounds was flawless and stunning. However, Shui Yuo wasn't optimistic that he would be able to defeat the Shi Luo Mo, who had concealed himself well. I hope you will do as you say. Shi Luo Mo ignored the shouting, Shui Yurua. The corners of his mouth curled up into a cold arc as he spoke in a sinister tone. I also hope you won't be a despicable person who goes back on his words. All right, enough nonsense. Let's fight. As Yi Chen-feng spoke, he let out a roar. A powerful aura burst out from his body, causing the air around him to ripple. The terrifying physical oppression made Shi Luo Mo feel suffocated. Roar. A powerful roar erupted from the mystic turtle corpse's bloody mouth. It dispersed the physical oppression released by Yi Chen-feng and blasted towards Yi Chen-feng's body. The moment the mystic turtle corpse attacked, Shi Luo Mo held his blood-colored spear and launched a fatal attack towards Yi Chen-feng. Death Ripple. Black ripples shot out from the blood-colored spear tip, causing the space to fluctuate. It attacked Yi Chen-feng's body at an extremely fast frequency. Yi Chen-feng didn't panic when he was attacked by both the mystic turtle corpse and Shi Luo Mo at the same time. The power of the four spiritual pearls in his body burst out at the same time and filled his arms instantly. Yi Chen-feng roared as he held the ancient heavy hammers tightly in his hands. He waved them around rapidly and instantly intertwined more than 10 heavy hammers with a force of 1,000 caddies. He shook the incoming roar and death ripples and used his absolute strength to break the attacks of Shi Luo Mo and the Mystic Turtle Corpse. Mystic Turtle Corpse, entangle him for me. Seeing Yi Chen-feng's shocking strength, Shi Luo Mo was slightly shocked as well. He immediately ordered the profound tortoise corpse, which only knew how to kill, to attack Yi Chen-feng to create a sure kill opportunity for himself. You came at the right time. I shall use you as an experiment. When a mystic turtle corpse approached with a dense death aura, 10 life Dao patterns gathered in Yi Chen-feng's right hand and blasted towards the mystic turtle corpse's extremely tough body. Boom! When a mystic turtle corpse was attacked by Yi Chen-feng's fist that contained 5 million caddies of force, its massive body trembled violently and uncontrollably retreated. At the same time, the 10 Dao patterns of life gathered in Yi Chen-feng's fist surged into the mystic tortoise's body without anyone noticing. They destroyed the Dao patterns of death in its body and forcibly cut off the connection between the Dao patterns of death and the corpse demon. Roar! Roar! When the life and death Dao patterns clashed fiercely, the mystic turtle corpse let out a painful howl. Its massive body went out of control and frantically scurried around the spacious martial stage, completely breaking free from Shi Luo Mo's control. What happened? What happened to the mystic turtle corpse? Looking at the mystic turtle corpse that suddenly went out of control, Shi Luo Mo revealed a surprised expression. Ever since he refined the mystic turtle corpse, such an unforeseen event had never happened. Just as he released the Death Dao patterns and wanted to control the mystic turtle corpse, Yi Chen-feng launched a fierce attack at him. The powerful ancient heavy hammers continuously bombarded his body, forcing him to dodge repeatedly. What happened? What happened earlier? Why did Senior Brother's mystic turtle corpse suddenly go out of control? Looking at the mystic turtle corpse that went out of control, the 3 corpse sect disciples were all stunned. They all looked at the gloomy Taoist 3 corpse. How'd he do it? Could he be the nemesis of my 3 corpse sect? Taoist 3 corpse was also stunned by the scene in front of him. No matter how hard he racked his brain, he couldn't imagine that Yi Chen-feng actually had a way to sever the connection between Shi Luo Mo and the mystic turtle corpse. For the first time, he started to worry for Shi Luo Mo. After dodging more than 10 attacks from the ancient heavy hammers, Shi Luo Mo immediately launched a counterattack at Yi Chen-feng. A skeletal bird with white bones appeared on his body and boosted his soul power. Corpse King Spear. With a huge boost in soul power, Shi Luo Mo immediately launched a counterattack. 9 dark Dao patterns fused into the blood-colored spear in his hand. He thrust out a spear light that was filled with dense death aura, thrusting it at Yi Chen-feng. 5 million kilograms of strength break. As Sure Luo, Mo, thrust his spear over, a thunderous explosion sounded under Yi Qinfeng's feet. He raised his ancient heavy hammer and welcomed the attack. When the two heaven artifacts clashed, the 5 million kilograms of strength in the ancient heavy hammer instantly burst out. The terrifying strength ferociously clashed with the Corpse King's spear's attack and forcefully pressed the blood-colored spear into a crescent shape. Bloodline ignition. Feeling the vibration from the blood-colored spear, Sure Luo, Mo, didn't hesitate to ignite his bloodline power and continue to increase his strength. He increased the attack power of the Corpse King's spear and forcefully shattered the ancient heavy hammer. Crack! Crack! The two of them didn't give in to each other for 5 breaths a time. The low-grade heaven artifact, Ancient Heavy Hammer, was shattered. However, the moment the ancient heavy hammer was shattered, Yi Qinfeng used Shifting Phantom and suddenly appeared behind Sure Luo, Mo, who was slightly out of control. His right hand that was filled with 5 million kilograms of strength firmly grabbed onto Sure Luo Mo's shoulder and forcefully pulled him up. In the next moment, Yi Qinfeng exerted strength again and performed a beautiful shoulder throw, slamming Sure Luo, Mo onto the ground. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record your reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 556. SSS. Witnessing the scene of Yi Qinfeng throwing a level 5 Beast King Corpse Demon to the ground with the means of a mortal, a series of gasps rang out from the stands. Many people rubbed their eyes hard, not daring to believe what they were seeing. Strong, senior brother Su, is too strong. Even the Shursi Luo Mo is not his match. Looking at the Shursi Luo Mo that was thrown to the ground, Hong Lin and the others were so shocked that their eyes widened. Their faces were filled with pride. If Hong Lin did not see that Xue Yurao was interested in Yi Qinfeng and did not dare to act rashly, she would have already thrown herself into Yi Qinfeng's arms. Sect Lord, senior brother won't lose, right? The 3 corpse sect's disciples looked at the gloomy Taoist third corpse and asked nervously, "What's the hurry?" Luo Mo still has trump cards that he has not used. I believe that he will be the one laughing in the end. He will definitely be able to kill that little bastard and show the might of our 3 corpse sect. Taoist third corpse looked at Yi Qinfeng with gloomy eyes and said coldly. After throwing the Shursi Luo Mo to the ground, Yi Qinfeng did not wait for him to get up. He threw out 3 punches at him, causing the air to explode. The punches were aimed at the Shursi Luo Mo's body, wanting to severely injure him. Gold-armored heavenly corpse. Sensing that Yi Qinfeng's 3 punches were filled with destructive power, the Shursi Luo Mo ignored his injuries and summoned his second heavenly corpse to block Yi Qinfeng's 3 punches with all his might. Boom! 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 A large amount of explosive power came from the surface of the gold-armored heavenly corpse's body. The powerful punches forced the Shursi Luo Mo to retreat. Cracks started to spread on the surface of his body. Corpse King slaughtering the world. Making use of the moment when the gold-armored heavenly corpse was blocking, the Shursi Luo Mo quickly jumped up from the ground and executed the only low-grade Dao skill that he knew. He attacked Yi Qinfeng. 9 dark Dao patterns gushed out from the Shursi Luo Mo's body and turned into a dark gray Corpse King with explosive muscles. The Corpse King was wrapped in arm-thick chains. It carried an astonishing killing aura as it attacked Yi Qinfeng. Xianming Extreme Dao. The Corpse King's murderous aura surged towards him. Yi Qinfeng didn't hold back anymore. 30 illusionary Dao patterns and 1 fire Dao pattern spurted out from his body, turning into reality and illusion. The void light was filled with destructive power. It was like a world-shaking mad dragon that blasted towards the Corpse King. Boom, 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 boom. The moment the 2 Dao skills collided, a thunderous explosion rang out. 2 terrifying waves of energy surged out in all directions like a tidal wave. It was like a hurricane sweeping away the clouds, and a great wave washing away the sand. The fluctuation caused a slight distortion in the air. The Xianming Extreme Dao was a mid-grade Dao technique. Its power was far superior to the Corpse King Massacre the World that the Corpse Luo demon had used. In just 2 breaths of time, the profound underworld Extreme Dao had destroyed the Corpse King form from the Dark Dao inside, and its remaining power continued to bombard Shi Luo Mo, whose expression had changed drastically. Gold-armored Heavenly Corpse, defend. At the critical moment, Shi Luo Mo ordered the golden-armored Heavenly Corpse to block in front of him, blocking the remaining power of the Xianming Extreme Dao. Shi Luo Mo dodged the attack, but the golden-armored Heavenly Corpse's golden armor was destroyed by the remaining power of the Xianming Extreme Dao. It was thrown a few hundred meters away and directly fell out of the arena. What a powerful force! If I'm not wrong, that move should be a middle-grade Dao skill. The 4th elder of the Yu family, Yu Hong, who was wearing a fiery red martial arts suit, raised her brows. Her calm face revealed a trace of surprise. She was surprised that a mere 6th-grade sect actually had a middle-grade Dao skill inheritance. This seems to be the middle-grade Xianming Extreme Dao that shocked the Western continent 60,000 years ago. The oldest person, Demon Dao, who was once the strongest person in the Western continent, vaguely recognized the truth of this move and spoke in shock. Xianming Extreme Dao. Hearing Demon Dao's words, Mo Fengyun's expression changed slightly. He was surprised that the Xianming Extreme Dao that was rumored to be the #1 killer move in the Western continent 60,000 years ago had reappeared. I didn't expect the Xianming sect to give birth to such a prodigy. Lu Qing didn't lose to him unjustly, Mo Fengyun said slowly. He had developed a strong interest in the Xianming Extreme Dao and was prepared to obtain the cultivation chant to increase his trump card. Middle-grade Dao skill. That little bastard actually grasped a middle-grade Dao skill. Dao Sanshi, who was very close to the main spectator stand, heard the words of Mo Fengyun and the others. The uneasiness in his heart grew stronger. He finally knew why Yi Chunfeng agreed to fight Shi Luo Mo to the end without hesitation. With a middle-grade Dao skill, he indeed had the possibility of killing Shi Luo Mo. Shi Luo Mo. If you have any other moves, use them now. Otherwise, I'm afraid you won't have the chance to use them. Yi Chunfeng looked at Shi Luo Mo, whose aura was a little chaotic and had a gloomy expression, and said arrogantly, "Don't be happy too early. The final victory will belong to me." Shi Luo Mo took a deep breath and suppressed the surging blood in his body. He continued to attack Yi Chunfeng. The mystic tortoise corpse had also successfully eliminated the corrosion of the life Dao pattern and returned to normal. It attacked Yi Chunfeng together with Shi Luo Mo illusion Dao intent confusion. Shi Luo Mo and the mystic tortoise corpse attacked. Yi Chunfeng's deep eyes shot out 30 illusion Dao patterns and penetrated Shi Luo Mo's eyes. He wanted to erode Shi Luo Mo's brain and consciousness and confuse his mind. Dark Dao pattern defense. As the illusion Dao patterns attacked, Shi Luo Mo's dark Dao patterns surged out and formed a vortex to resist the erosion of the illusion Dao patterns. At this moment, the roaring mystic tortoise corpse approached Yi Chunfeng. It opened its bloody mouth and spat out a dense death aura, which bombarded Yi Chunfeng's body. 5 million kilograms of force. Break for me. Yi Chunfeng roared. The power of the 4 spiritual pearls surged into his right arm and stirred up flames of power. He attacked with an insufferably arrogant attitude. Boom! The death aura spat out by the mystic tortoise corpse was blasted apart by Yi Chunfeng's unstoppable punch. The fist light dragged along with the power of fire and ruthlessly bombarded the weakest part of the mystic tortoise corpse's neck. It immediately sent its massive body flying and crashed heavily on the ground. Terrifying. This Su Mingwei's strength is too terrifying. That's right. I didn't expect 2 dark horses to emerge in this Dragon Abyss Sacred City martial meet. With Su Mingwei and He Shi Tuji's performance, they might have a chance to enter the top 8. After witnessing the scene of Yi Chunfeng sending the mystic tortoise corpse flying with a single punch, many people were stunned by his strength that was comparable to a savage beast. There were even people who compared him with He Shituji and were discussing who was stronger. Shifting Phantom. There was a flash of light under Yi Chunfeng's feet. He drew an afterimage and appeared in front of Shi Luo Mo with lightning speed. He blasted out an earth-shattering fist light and bombarded Shi Luo Mo's body. Demonic Blood, Heavenly Corpse. Just as Shi Luo Mo's dodging space was sealed by Yi Chunfeng's fist lights, Shi Luo Mo used his final trump card. He summoned a 9-chi tall heavenly corpse. It had dark red skin, dark green eyes that were slowly rotating like whirlpools, and both of its hands were embedded with steel claws. It was emitting a chilling death aura. Demonic Blood, Heavenly Corpse. This is Taoist 3 Corpse's Demonic Blood, Heavenly Corpse. Looking at the last sky corpse that Shi Luo Mo had summoned, Shui Honghen immediately recognized this sky corpse. It wasn't a heavenly corpse refined by Shi Luo Mo. It was the strongest heavenly corpse refined by Taoist 3 Corpse. It possessed the strength of a half-step combat beast emperor. It wasn't only Shui Honghen who recognized the demonic blood heavenly corpse. Many people present also recognized it. They didn't expect Taoist 3 Corpse to be so despicable. In order to let Shi Luo Mo obtain a good result, he actually lent him a demonic blood heavenly corpse. It could be said that Yi Chunfeng wasn't facing Shi Luo Mo now, but Taoist 3 Corpse. And this change directly turned the situation around. It also changed everyone's guess of the outcome. Yi Chunfeng, who didn't dare to use his trump card easily and expose his identity, was in big trouble. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 557. Su Mingwei. The game is over. You can go and die now. After forcing out his final trump card, Shi Luo Mo revealed a sinister expression and immediately gave the demonic blood heavenly corpse a must-kill order. He then launched a fierce attack at Yi Chunfeng. Boom! Yi Chunfeng's fist that was filled with 5 million kilograms of force clashed with Shi Luo Mo's steel claw. Instantly, there was a surge of energy ripples that surged in midair. The demonic blood heavenly corpse was refined by Taoist Sanshi over hundreds of years. He spent a lot of effort and fused with a large number of heaven and earth spiritual items. He had immense strength and was valiant in battle. After clashing with Yi Chunfeng's punch with 5 million kilograms of force, his muscular body merely trembled a little. However, Yi Chunfeng was forced to take 3 steps back by the demonic blood heavenly corpse's explosive force. His arm felt a trace of numbness. Demonic blood heavenly corpse continued attacking and tear him apart. Seeing that Yi Chunfeng was forced back by the demonic blood heavenly corpse, the slightly pale Shi Luo Mo revealed a sinister expression. He continued to give orders to the demonic blood heavenly corpse to kill Yi Chunfeng with all his might. As he approached Yi Chunfeng, the demonic blood heavenly corpse's fingertip flashed with a bright light. A 9 feet 9 inches long dragon head saber that weighed over 5,000 kilograms appeared in his hand. He slashed at Yi Chunfeng with a heaven-splitting momentum. Xianming Extreme Dao. As the demonic blood heavenly corpse slashed with the dragon head saber, Yi Chunfeng's body once again released the illusion Dao pattern and fire Dao pattern. They transformed into the Xianming Extreme Dao and blasted forward. Boom! After receiving the attack of the Xianming Extreme Dao, the dragon head saber was forcefully repelled. The terrifying Xianming Extreme Dao slammed heavily on the demonic blood heavenly corpse's body, forcing it to retreat and injuring its body. Shape-shifting Phantom. In the next moment, there was a flash of light under Yi Chunfeng's feet. He drew out 9 afterimages and appeared in front of Shi Luo Mo before the demonic blood heavenly corpse could stabilize its body. As Yi Chen-feng approached, Shi Luo Mo didn't hesitate to thrust his Corpse King spear. It tore through the air and let out an ear-piercing metallic sound as it stabbed at Yi Chen-feng's chest. Not good. Luo Mo, Taoist 3 Corpses, who was extremely experienced in battle, was shocked when he saw that the corpse Luo demon chose to attack instead of dodge. Xian Ming Extreme Dao. Facing Shi Luo Mo's Corpse King spear, Yi Chen-feng revealed a cold smile. He once again executed the profound underworld extreme way. The dragon-like Xian Qi destroyed the Corpse King spear and smashed into Shi Luo Mo, who couldn't dodge in time. It shattered his defense and sent him flying. And Luo's, he Luo Chen's, and Yi. Luo was Luo Mo corpses with extremes bodies. Luo body. Luo, boom, an earth-shattering sound. Luo Mo's head heavily smashed on the hard stage. Immediately, a large amount of blood flowed out from his head and dyed the stage red. Just as the corpse Luo demon, whose head was about to explode and was bleeding nonstop, struggled to get up, Yi Chen-feng dodged the saber attack from the demonic blood heavenly corpse that had leaped into the air. He descended from the sky and ruthlessly stomped on the corpse Luo demon's waist. Crack! Luo Mo's body defense was crushed by Yi Chen-feng's stomp. Luo Mo's waist bones were also crushed by the power from Yi Chen-feng's stomp. Luo Mo let out a beast-like painful roar. The situation is over. Although Luo Mo has a trump card that can reverse the situation, demonic blood heavenly corpse's speed is not fast enough. Moreover, Luo Mo lost the initiative and is heavily injured. I reckon he will be powerless. The experienced demonic Taoist saw the changes in the stage and spoke frankly with assurance. That profound underworld extreme Tao is truly worthy of being the number 1 Tao art of the Western continent 60,000 years ago. Its power is truly great. Mo Fengyan nodded and said, however, that Su Mingwei is also not simple. With his rank 2 reverse beast king strength, he is actually able to use profound underworld extreme Tao consecutively. This profound underworld sect has really picked up a treasure. What? Are you interested in that profound underworld extreme Tao? Hearing Mo Fengyun's words, the demonic Taoist who had a good personal relationship with him asked, haha, I don't believe you aren't interested in that profound underworld extreme Tao. Mo Fengyun laughed. It's useless even if I'm interested. That profound underworld extreme Tao is not so easy to cultivate. Otherwise, it wouldn't have disappeared for 60,000 years. The demonic Taoist sighed. While the two were talking, Yi Chen-feng continued to use shape-shifting phantom to dodge the demonic blood heavenly corpse's attacks while attacking Luo Mo's body, worsening his injuries. If it wasn't for Luo Mo's extremely high cultivation realm and his body's endurance far surpassing ordinary kings, he would have been unable to hold on. No, I won't lose and I can't lose. Luo Mo, who was bleeding nonstop and suffering from severe injuries, couldn't accept this outcome. He wanted to completely ignite his bloodline and blood essence in a final struggle. Illusion Dao intent, confusion. Just as Shi Luo Mo was burning his bloodline and blood essence, Yi Chen-feng shot out an illusion Dao pattern from his eyes and injected it into Shi Luo Mo's eyes. It confused Shi Luo Mo's mind and slowed down his reaction. Next, Yi Chen-feng's fist, which was filled with thousands of kilograms of force, struck his chest from below, causing his body to bend into a bow and fly into the air. Large amounts of blood and internal organs sprayed out from his mouth as his entire chest caved in. Stop! Seeing that Luo Mo's life was in danger, Taoist 3 Corpse's eyes instantly turned blood red as he roared furiously. However, Yi Chen-feng didn't pay attention to the enraged Taoist 3 Corpse. He stepped on the void and shifted, dodging the continuous attacks of the enraged demonic blood heavenly corpse. Before Luo Mo's body crashed to the ground, he launched another fatal attack. Luo mo, everything is over. You can go to hell now. Yi Qinfeng's eyes flashed with killing intent as the illusion Dao pattern and fire Dao pattern gushed out from his body, transforming into a void that was hard to distinguish. Xianming Extreme Dao. Yi Qinfeng struck out with both his palms. The Xianming Extreme Dao force was like a violent thunderbolt that carried a chilling, killing intent as it blasted towards Luo mo, wanting to kill him in one go. Boom! The Xianming Extreme Dao force that distorted the void ruthlessly blasted onto Luo mo's body and sent him flying. Seeing that Luo mo's body was about to be destroyed by the Xianming Extreme Dao, a black light appeared on his body and protected his vital parts, blocking the destruction of the Xianming Extreme Dao force and pulling him back from the gates of hell. In a life-saving talisman, Yi Qinfeng's brows twitched slightly as he looked at Luo mo, who fell at the edge of the martial stage. He was a little surprised that Luo mo actually had a life-saving talisman that could block the all-out attack of a combat bee sovereign. Luo mo managed to survive with the help of the life-saving talisman, but he was too severely injured to continue the match. He gritted his teeth and tried his best to crawl out of the martial stage before Yi Qinfeng could continue his attack. He used the most humiliating method to admit defeat. Luo mo, didn't you suggest a bloody battle to the end? Why did you jump out of the martial stage like a dog? Yi Qinfeng looked at Luo mo, who was lying outside the martial stage on his last breath. His entire body was dyed red with blood, and he was on his last breath. You! After being questioned by Yi Qinfeng in front of everyone, Luo mo was so ashamed that he couldn't show his face, but he couldn't retaliate. Sigh, if you're still a man, just kill yourself. Don't live in this world and make a fool of yourself. Looking at Luo mo, whose chest was violently heaving up and down and whose fingers were deeply inserted into the ground, Yi Qinfeng sighed softly and continued to mock him. Sure, Luo mo, who was on the verge of death and ashamed, was so angry that he coughed up blood. His eyes went black, and he fainted on the spot. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 558. He won. Mingwei really won. After witnessing the whole process of Yi Qinfeng defeating Shi Luo mo, Shui Yuruo and Shui Honghen exchanged a glance and saw the shock in each other's eyes. Not only were the two of them stunned by the result, but the experts of the major forces who had been paying attention to the two of them were also stunned. In the previous battle, Shi Luo mo's strength and trump cards were far superior to Yi Qinfeng's, but Shi Luo mo was defeated in the end. This made them deeply realize how terrifying Yi Qinfeng was. Half of Dragon Chi body. After defeating Shi Luo mo, a large amount of Dragon Chi poured into the dragon pattern on Yi Qinfeng's forehead through the stage. In an instant, he condensed half of his Dragon Chi body. Mingwei, good job. You really didn't disappoint me. Under the gazes of many people, when Yi Qinfeng went to the stage, Shui Yuruo, who was so excited that she couldn't speak, hugged his arm tightly and said excitedly, Sec Master, I've consumed a lot of energy in this battle. Can I go and recuperate first? Yi Qinfeng pulled away his arm that was tightly squeezed by two soft lumps and deliberately asked weakly, Mingwei, wait for a while. After the next battle, the group stage will be over. At that time, the 16 of you will advance to the next round and draw lots to determine your opponents. Shui Honghen took out an expensive heaven-ranked spirit pill from his universe ring and gave it to Yi Qinfeng. He told him to consume it to heal his injuries. All right then. Yi Qinfeng felt that there was no problem with the heaven-level soul pellet that Shui Honghen gave him. Yi Qinfeng swallowed it and sat quietly on the stage to recuperate. Soon, the 7th battle began. In the 8th group, the number 1 genius of Black Evil Paradise, Xia Lu Xiao, and Mo Qinshin had a fierce battle that ignited the atmosphere in the arena. The two of them fought fiercely for more than an hour. In the end, Mo Qinshin, who wasn't favored by anyone, defeated Xiao Lu Xiao, the seeded contestant, and advanced to the top 16. The Western Devil sect is indeed filled with experts. This Mo Qinshin is so strong. Yi Chenfeng was also captivated by the battle between the two of them. After watching the entire battle, Yi Chenfeng suddenly had a feeling that Mo Qinshin had only used 70% of his strength to defeat Vawiloboa. Moreover, he hadn't used a single powerful trump card. At this point, all the group matches had ended, and the top two of each group advanced to the top 16. Among them, Yi Chenfeng was the one who surprised everyone the most. He was only a level 2 Beast King, yet he was able to suppress a level 5 Beast King. Shi Luo Mo Lu Qing, the genius of the heavens, was able to obtain first place in the 7th group. As for the 5th group, the number 1 genius of Heavenly Silkworm Ridge, Ziyun, had killed his way out of the encirclement and obtained 2nd place, entering the top 16. This made many people's jaws drop. It could be said that the Dark Nether County was in the limelight because of Yi Chenfeng and Ziyun. This made Shui Yuro and Qi Tianshui overjoyed and excited. All right, everyone quiet down. Just as the various large powers were discussing the top 16, the black-robed Mo Qinli stepped into the air and spoke in a deep voice. Now that the group matches have ended, we will immediately begin the drawing of lots for the top 8. For the sake of fairness, we will draw lots for the top 8 based on the results of each group. That is to say, the Heaven Group's participants will only be matched against the Earth Group's participants, and the Earth Group's participants can only challenge the Heaven Group's participants. After saying that, 16 black and white balls of light appeared in each of Mo Qinli's hands. They slowly floated in the air. The white balls of light represented the Heaven Group's participants, and the black balls represented the Earth Group's participants. After learning the meaning behind the black and white balls of light, Yi Chenfeng and the others released their soul energy and condensed their soul energy into large hands. In the chaos, they snatched a ball of light and held it in their hands. Kuei, I didn't think my opponent in the top 8 would be her. After the drawing of lots, Yi Chenfeng immediately looked at the mysterious Kuei, who was wearing a black robe and a silver mask. Yi Chenfeng was matched against the powerful Kuei, who lost to Yi Chenfeng in a humiliating manner. Shi Luo Mo, who was ranked 2nd in the group, was even more unlucky. He was matched against the popular champion, the Yu family's genius, Yu Zhongtian, who was a half-step beast emperor. As for Ziyun, he was matched against the innately strong He Shi Tuji, which basically meant that he would stop at the top 16. All right, the drawing of lots is over. Everyone can go and rest. The top 8 elimination matches will begin tomorrow morning. Mo Qinli announced loudly. Mingwei, Kuei's strength should not be underestimated. Aside from Mo Wuwang, she has not lost to anyone else. You must give it your all and strive to enter the top 8. Shui Yuo reminded softly as she looked at the silent Yi Chenfeng, whose thoughts no one could read. Yi Chenfeng nodded. There was neither joy nor sadness on his face. Just as Yi Chenfeng and the others arrived at the ancient courtyard, a person that Shui Yuo did not expect paid them a visit. Sect Lord Mo, why are you here? Mo Fengyun was wearing a black robe. He was tall and had a beard around his mouth. His aura was fused with the surrounding space. Shui Yuo smiled charmingly and welcomed him into the ancient courtyard. I am here today for 2 matters. The first matter is about your disciple, Su Mingwei. Mo Fengyun looked at Shui Yuo, who was like a ripe peach and exuding a mature charm. He went straight to the point. Thump! When Shui Yuo heard Mo Fengyun mention Su Mingwei, her heart skipped a beat. She had a bad feeling. She forced a smile and asked, Sect Lord Mo, are you interested in my Mingwei? I am not interested in him. It is the Yu family's 3rd elder who is interested in him. Tell him to prepare for the top 8. If he can enter the top 8, the Yu family's 3rd elder is willing to accept him as a disciple and bring him to the Yu family. Mo Fengyun placed his hands behind his back and spoke in a dignified manner. Hearing what Mo Fengyan said, Shui Yurua's heart sank to the bottom. She never expected that Yi Chunfeng's stunning performance would attract the interest of the Yu family's third elder. Thinking about the extraordinary status and strength of the Yu family, Shui Yurua revealed a bitter smile. She did not dare to snatch a disciple from the Yu family. At this moment, she could only hope that Yi Chunfeng would lose the top 8 tomorrow or tactfully reject the Yu family's offer. The second reason why I'm looking for you is because I'm very interested in your profound underworld sex, profound underworld extreme way. I want to obtain its cultivation chant. However, I won't take advantage of your profound underworld sect for nothing. If you're willing to give me the cultivation chant of the profound underworld extreme way, I can agree to 3 of your conditions. And Mo Fengyun said slowly. Sect Lord Mo, if I use one of the conditions to persuade the Yu family's third elder to give up on Ming Wei, I wonder if Sect Lord Mo can agree. Shui Yurua gently bit her alluring red lips and made a bold request. No, I can't change the third elder's mind. Please change your conditions. Mo Fengyan shook his head and rejected without hesitation. All right then. Shui Yurua, who had no other choice, sighed helplessly. She obediently gave the cultivation formula of Xianming Extreme Dao to Mo Fengyan in exchange for 3 middle-grade celestial weapons, 10 supreme-grade heaven-class soul elixirs, and 2 low-grade Dao Technique jade slips. After sending Mo Fengyan off, Shui Yurua, who had a lot on her mind, gritted her teeth and headed to the ancient house where Yi Chunfeng was. She wanted to use her most deadly charm to make Yi Chunfeng be loyal to her and give up on the Yu family. Mobile reading website, book address. For your convenience, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 559. Dong Dong Dong. A series of light knocks came from the door, passing through the formation restriction set up by Yi Chunfeng and into the room. Who, sitting cross-legged on the bed, Yi Chunfeng, who had just entered a state of cultivation, frowned slightly and asked in a low voice, Ming Wei, it's me. I have something important to tell you. Shui Yurua's soft voice sounded from outside the house. Hearing that it was Shui Yurua outside the door, Yi Chunfeng frowned slightly. He stopped regulating his breath, got off the bed, and dispelled the restriction formation in the room. Then, he opened the door and welcomed Shui Yurua, who was wearing a dark purple dress, revealing her snow-white skin and white cleavage, and exuding a mature charm. Sect Master, why are you looking for me? Yi Chunfeng asked in a low voice. Ming Wei, how do you think I treat you? Shui Yurua closed the door gently. She looked at him with watery eyes. She opened her seductive red lips and asked softly. Very good, Yi Chunfeng said. He kept guessing why Shui Yurua was looking for him. Ming Wei, if this Dragon Lake Sacred City Martial meet ends and a great power invites you to join them, will you leave me and the profound underworld sect? Shui Yurua leaned forward slightly and pressed Yi Chunfeng's strong chest with her pair of weapons that could drive men crazy. She exhaled a breath of fragrance, looked at him affectionately, and asked in a seductive manner, No, other than the profound underworld sect, I will not join any other forces. Yi Chunfeng had guessed the purpose of Shui Yurua's sudden visit. He shook his head and promised solemnly. Really? Shui Yurua's charming big eyes were filled with surprise. She looked at Yi Chunfeng affectionately and continued probing. What if you belong to the Yu family? If the Yu family's elders take a fancy to your talent and want to accept you as a disciple and recruit you into the Yu family, will you abandon me? Yu family. Yi Chunfeng's heart skipped a beat. He hadn't expected that Yu Nichong's family, the Yu family, a rank 8 holy land, wanted to recruit him. However, thinking about the relationship between the Yu family and the Yu family, as well as his disguise, Yi Chunfeng didn't dare to have too much contact with the Yu family. He shook his head and said, Sect Master, don't worry. Whether it is the Yu family or the Western Devil sect, I will not join them. If you don't believe me, I can swear to the heavens. You don't have to swear. I believe you. Shui Yura stretched out her white and tender fingers and gently pressed them on Yi Qinfeng's mouth. She looked at him with blurred eyes and exhaled a breath of fragrance on his face. She said charmingly, "Mingwei, I like you. Let me be your woman today. Take me." Yi Qinfeng felt the squeeze of Shui Yurua's soft body. Looking at the feminine look in her eyes and the sweet tongue that slid out from her moist lips, he felt a ripple in his heart. However, Yi Qinfeng had already seen through Shui Yurua's thoughts. He knew that she didn't seduce him out of sincerity. She just wanted to control him. Once she discovered his secret, she would definitely be the first to betray him. "Secmaster, the next few matches are very important. I can't be distracted. Can we wait until the Longyuan Sacred City martial arts competition ends?" Yi Qinfeng took a deep breath and suppressed his restless heart. He tactfully refused Shui Yurua. "Mingwei, I don't care about the competition. I only want you. I want you badly." Although Yi Qinfeng said that he refused to join the Yu family, Shui Yurua was still worried. If Yi Qinfeng lost tomorrow's competition, all the problems would be solved. Therefore, Shui Yurua wanted to squeeze him dry so that he wouldn't be able to fight Kuei-Yi with all his strength. "Sect leader, the Dragon Lake Sacred City martial competition this time is extremely important to me. Moreover, I have yet to condense the perfect dragon chi body. If the mysterious Dragon Lake Sacred City really appears at the last moment, I will miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Therefore, I have to give it my all in the later stages of the competition. Please help me, Sect Master," Yi Qinfeng said firmly as he gently pushed away Shui Yua's hot body and grabbed her snow-white shoulders. "Mingwei, believe me, no matter how great the temptation is, I will not join the Yu clan or the Western Devil sect. If I go back on my words, may I, Su Mingwei, be struck by lightning." Yi Qinfeng swore in front of everyone. "Well, since you don't want to, I won't force you. Prepare well for tomorrow's competition. I'll leave first." Seeing that Yi Qinfeng refused her again and again, Shui Yurua's confidence was greatly damaged. However, she didn't continue to force Yi Qinfeng. She sighed softly and left with some hidden bitterness. Seeing that Shui Yurua had left, Yi Qinfeng set up a restriction in the room again. He removed all distracting thoughts from his mind and continued to regulate his breath. He waited for the sky to turn dark before sneaking into the mysterious space to continue comprehending the sword Dao meaning contained in the sword Dao steel. Late at night, the bright moonlight shone on the Longyuan Sacred City and covered the ancient city with a layer of silver sand, making it mysterious and enchanting. In the dead of night, a vague shadow flew along the ancient road of the Longyuan Sacred City along the dark eaves. It avoided the detection of the divine senses and came to the abandoned stone hall. This ghost-like shadow was Yi Qinfeng. There are more cracks on this sword Dao steel. With the help of the space swallower, Yi Qinfeng entered the mysterious space below the abandoned stone hall. When he arrived at the bottom of the sword Dao steel, he noticed that there were more cracks on the surface of the sword Dao steel. It was obvious that during the time he was away, the demonic energy and mysterious sword had an intense repulsion, causing the sword Dao steel to crack. God-Eater brain, comprehend. Sensing that the sword Dao steel might be cracked by the demonic energy at any time, Yi Qinfeng didn't waste any time. He sat on the ground and controlled the God-Eater brain to penetrate into the sword Dao steel. He continued to control the God-Eater brain to deduce the sword Dao pattern and deepen his understanding of the sword Dao. Thump, thump, thump. Just as Yi Qinfeng removed all distracting thoughts and entered the cultivation state to engrave the sword Dao pattern, a strange heartbeat sound suddenly echoed under the sword Dao steel. It was like a demonic sound and circled around Yi Qinfeng's ears, causing the blood in his body to surge violently. Heartbeat sound. Why is there a heartbeat sound here? Yi Qinfeng abruptly woke up from his cultivation. He listened to the strange heartbeat sound and looked at the strange sword Dao steel. His heart had a trace of uneasiness. Forget it. I will engrave the sword Dao pattern first. After hesitating for a moment, Yi Qinfeng didn't immediately leave this troublesome place. He suppressed his surging blood and continued to control the God-Eater brain to engrave the sword Dao pattern. As the strange heartbeat sound got faster and faster, Yi Qinfeng's mind suddenly appeared with a large number of illusions. They confused his brain and consciousness and wanted to take control of his body. However, Yi Qinfeng had a divine item like the God-Eater brain in his mind. The illusions formed by the strange heartbeat sound couldn't confuse his consciousness. The restless blood in his body was also completely suppressed by the primal chaos divine wood. Slowly, the sky was going to be bright again. After controlling the God-Eater brain to successfully engrave 5 sword Dao patterns, Yi Qinfeng didn't stay for long. He left the mysterious space that was getting more and more dangerous. He quietly went to the ancient house where he temporarily stayed and waited for the battle between the top 8 to begin. Recently, he posted Ji Qingshue's photo. Like a friend, he added her WeChat account. YLTY83 mobile reading website. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 560. At the break of dawn, the quiet Dragon Lake sacred city slowly became noisy. The experts of the various factions woke up early and came to the arena to wait for the top 8. Kuei, today's battle is very important. I hope you could defeat your opponents and enter the top 8 together. On the eve of the battle, the Dark Shadow Tower Master, Guyu, looked at his 2 favorite disciples and solemnly reminded them, "Don't worry, Tower Master. We won't disappoint you." Who was wearing a tight black martial arts suit that outlined her tall and slender body, and a silver mask that covered her face, promised solemnly, "Shadow, I'm not too worried about your strength. As long as you perform well, defeating Mo Baifeng shouldn't be too difficult. However, Kuei, your opponent, Su Mingwei, is not simple at all, especially that mid-grade Dao skill he grasps, the profound underworld extreme Dao. Its power is extremely great, and when you fight with him, you must use your strength to suppress him. The moment he has a chance to take a breather, you will most likely lose. Don't worry, Tower Master. I believe that the final victor will be me." Kuei, who was slightly shorter than and wore a silver mask, nodded and said emotionlessly, "Here, this is for you. It can help you block 80% of the illusion Dao intent." In order to increase Kuei's chances of winning, Guyu gave her a multi-edged black crystal. This black crystal was similar to the green crystal on Mo Liuqing's neck. They were both soul defense treasures. "All right, let's go to the arena." After giving some instructions, Guyu immediately led the people from the Dark Shadow Tower and arrived at the martial arena under the light of dawn. At this time, the people from the profound underworld sect arrived early. Yi Qinfeng, who was wearing a black martial arts robe, was sitting cross-legged on the spectator's stand without any expression on his face. When the bright red sun hung in the sky, the exciting battle of the top 8 began. In order to increase the viewing value of the tournament, the top 8 would be a 2-man tournament. First, it would be a battle between the most popular, the Yu family's genius, Yu Zhongtian, and Shi Luo Mo, who had yet to recover from his injuries. Then, it would be a battle between the arrogant and overbearing He Shi Tuji and the Yu family's genius, Yu Yingguang. Looking at Yu Zhongtian, who was wearing a white martial arts suit and had a proud and aloof expression on his chiseled face, Shi Luo Mo, who had suffered the greatest humiliation in his life after being humiliated by Yi Qinfeng, couldn't help but feel a little guilty. His aura also weakened a little. However, intense sparks of battle intent shot out from between the black rock earth pole and the dim flames. As the competition began, the 4 of them quickly engaged in a fierce battle. For a moment, the 2 battle arenas set off layers upon layers of energy waves. After images collided fiercely, stirring up dazzling sparks. Just as the 4 of them were fiercely fighting, a demonic shadow suddenly split from Yu Zhongtian's body. It carried a shocking killing intent as it bombarded Shi Luo Mo's body, breaking through his body's defenses. Along with the mystic tortoise corpse, He was blasted off the stage and lost the match. On the other hand, Yu Zhongtian had used less than half an incense stick's worth of time to defeat Shi Luo Mo. Not long after Yu Zhongtian defeated Shi Luo Mo, the innately strong Black Rock Earth Pole also defeated the dim flames with an absolute advantage, smoothly advancing to the top 8. So strong. This Black Rock Earth Pole's true strength is probably comparable to a half-step Beast Emperor. As for that Yu Zhongtian, if he uses his trump card, he might even be able to defeat a first-step Beast Emperor expert. After witnessing the battle between Yu Zhongtian and the Black Rock Earth Pole, Yi Chenfeng had a vague understanding of their strength, especially Yu Zhongtian's strength, which made Yi Chenfeng sigh in amazement. Quickly look, Mo Wuwang has entered the stage. I wonder who's stronger between him and Yu Zhongtian. Compared to Yu Zhongtian, the #1 genius of the Western continent, Mo Wuwang, who was known as the #1 genius of the Western continent's younger generation, was even more popular. Seeing him enter the stage, the entire arena became noisy as people continuously cheered for him. Mo Wuwang's opponent was the #1 genius of the Black Evil Cave, Xie Qingyan. Looking at his opponent, Xie Qingyan did not show any signs of weakness. Lightly wiping the low-grade heaven-grade battle blade in his hand, he waited in silence for the battle to begin. On the other arena, the auras of the #1 genius of the Dark Shadow Pavilion, Shadow, and the #2 genius of the Western Devil Sect, Mo Baifeng, had already merged. Before the battle began, they had already begun to compare their auras. When their auras reached their peak, the battle began. Following Mo Baifeng's shout, their auras repulsed each other, forming an aura whirlpool that could engulf heaven and earth. Numerous black wheels of death split out from Mo Baifeng's body, producing ear-piercing sounds as they attacked Shadow. Facing the attack of the black wheels of death, Shadow did not panic. Her tall and slender body flickered slightly as she turned into a strange black shadow. Like a tear in space, she pierced through the 2 high-speed black wheels of death and attacked Mo Baifeng, forcing him to retreat with one move. Gaining the upper hand with one move, Shadow flashed again, turning back into a black shadow, continuing to attack Mo Baifeng. Her unpredictable attacks completely suppressed Mo Baifeng's attacks. While Shadow was suppressing Mo Baifeng, Mo Wuwang, with his unfathomable strength, had already secured the victory. His space-shaking attacks pushed Xie Qingyun to the edge of the arena, and streams of blood flowed uncontrollably from the corner of his mouth. It's over. Mo Wuwang took a step forward, and a suffocating power shot out from his fist, shattering Xie Qingyun's body like breaking through dried leaves. With a single punch, Xie Qingyun was sent flying, crashing into the defensive light barrier in the distance before softly falling to the ground. He had lost the battle. Too strong. As expected of the #1 genius of the Western continent's younger generation. With this kind of strength, he can probably fight against Emperor-level experts. Mo Wuwang, Yu Zhongtian, I really wonder who will be the final victor. After witnessing the scene of Mo Wuwang defeating Xie Qingyun, all the young disciples of the major powers were completely convinced by his strength. Mo Wuwang's name resounded throughout the entire arena. Soul Shock Strike. Just as everyone was shouting Mo Wuwang's name, Shadow also used her ultimate move. Streams of energy shot out from her tall and slender body, and like a heavy hammer, they smashed into Mo Baifeng's mind, directly attacking his soul. Buzz, buzz. After being hit by the Soul Shock Strike, Mo Baifeng's soul trembled, and his reaction slowed down a little. Although this delay was only half a second, it was enough to take his life. When Mo Baifeng dispelled the dizziness in his mind, a black light flashed in front of his eyes. The black longsword in Shadow's hand had pierced through his body's defense and touched his forehead, piercing through his skin and causing a stream of blood to flow out. Feeling the killing power from the tip of the sword, Mo Baifeng's body trembled as if he had been electrocuted. Large amounts of cold sweat seeped out of his body, drenching his clothes. He had no doubt that if Shadow used a little more strength, his head would explode, and he would die on the spot. I lost. Mo Bifong tried his best to open his mouth 3 times before letting out a bitter sound and admitting defeat in front of everyone. After Mo Bifong admitted defeat, Shadow didn't waste any time. Her body flashed, and she turned into a black shadow, disappearing from the arena and returning to the stands. It's my turn. Yi Chenfeng looked deeply at Shadow, then slowly stood up. With a leap, he crossed the distance of more than 1,000 meters and landed on the arena. Silence awaited his opponent, another genius assassin from the Dark Shadow Tower. Okay. Remember the URL. Sandwich Chinese Network. Chapter 561. Sec Patriarch. Do you think Senior Marshal Brotherway can win? Looking at Yi Chenfeng, who was emitting an invincible battle intent, Hong Lin's eyes were filled with admiration. She turned to look at Shui Yurua, who had a serious expression on her face, and asked, "He should be able to," Shui Yurua said with a complicated tone. However, in her heart, she did not wish for Yi Chenfeng to win. Swish! An ear-piercing sound rang out as the silver-masked Kuei appeared. She was like a flash of light as she appeared before Yi Chenfeng, looking at him coldly. When Yi Chenfeng and Kuei appeared, the proud daughter of the Yu family, Yu Bingyu, also appeared. Although Yu Bingyu's status in the Yu family was not as high as Yu Nichong's, her cultivation talent was far superior to Yu Nichong's. She had mastered many secret techniques that the Yu family had never taught to outsiders. Her opponent was the genius of the Western Devil Sect, Mo Yuanling, who was a rank 3 defiant Beast King. Match begin. As the match supervisor gave the order, the third round of the quarterfinals began. Swish! There was a tearing sound as Kuei's body flashed and tore through the air. She thrust her sword at Yi Chenfeng's chest at lightning speed. Kuei's sword was extremely fast, faster than the speed of light. However, with Yi Chenfeng's powerful soul spirit senses, her attack trajectory was easily seen through by Yi Chenfeng. There was a flash of light under Yi Chenfeng's feet as he drew out an afterimage and easily dodged her attack. He appeared beside her and sent out a palm strike. Instantly, a large amount of air was crushed by Yi Chenfeng's palm strike. The palm light, which was more than 5 million Jin, made Kuei feel suffocated. She did not dare to take it head-on and quickly used her Shadow Dao intent to dodge. However, the moment Kuei dodged, an afterimage flashed in front of her. With his powerful soul spirit senses, Yi Chenfeng, who had captured her movement trajectory, blocked in front of her. He repeatedly sent out powerful fist lights that bombarded her body, forcing her to use all her strength to defend herself. Boom! 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 A series of deafening explosions rang out. Unable to dodge, Kuei decisively unleashed her top-quality heavenly skill, and one after another, sharp sword shadows shot out from her body, continuously attacking Yi Chenfeng's incoming fist lights. Xianming Extreme Dao, just as she forcefully broke through the fist lights that were filled with a force of 10 million kilograms. Yi Chenfeng executed his ultimate killing move. The illusion Dao pattern and the fire Dao pattern gushed out from his body and formed the illusory and real mystic extreme energy. It destroyed the supreme-grade heaven skill that she executed and bombarded her body. Pooh! Kuei's defense was broken by the extreme mystic energy, and she spat out a mouthful of blood into the sky. She was sent flying backward and fell heavily to the ground. While Yi Chenfeng heavily injured Kuei, Yu Bingyu, whose strength was unfathomable, also launched a wave of attacks at Mo Yuanling. Under Yu Bingyu's continuous attacks, Mo Yuanling's attacks were completely neutralized, and his entire body was sent flying off the stage by a suffocating force, losing the fight. I will not lose. Kuei wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth, and like a wild female leopard, she leaped up from the ground and quickly ignited her bloodline power and blood essence, raising her strength to the peak as she launched a fierce attack at Yi Chenfeng, thinking of ways to turn the situation around. Kuei's unpredictable attacks were hard to defend against, but with Yi Chenfeng's soul spirit senses, her attacks were unable to pose any threat to Yi Chenfeng. Yi Chen-feng was always able to predict her attack trajectory and react in advance, causing Kuei's attacks to miss time and time again. As for Yi Chen-feng's attacks while he was dodging, he was always able to accurately hit Kuei's body, continuously destroying her defenses and worsening her injuries. How can this be? How is Su Mingwei able to predict Kuei's attack trajectory in advance? How'd he do it? Seeing Kuei's fierce attacks fail time and time again, Gu Yu and the others revealed looks of disbelief, not daring to believe what they were seeing. Haha, this Su Mingwei is even more outstanding than I thought. I didn't expect that other than his innate divine strength. He also has an extraordinary soul spirit. This disciple, is definitely going to take him in. The Yu family's third elder, who had rich combat experience, was able to clearly see through Yi Chen-feng's secret of predicting Kuei's attacks in advance. He laughed heartily and was very interested in Yi Chen-feng and his secrets. If that Su Mingwei knew that Elder Chen Yuan wanted to take him in as a disciple, he would probably wake up laughing in his dreams. Mo Fengyin took a sip of the jade green tea that was emitting a faint spirit aura and said with a smile, "Soul shock strike." As her injuries worsened, Kuei no longer dared to hold back and immediately executed her secret technique, directly attacking Yi Chen-feng's soul spirit. She wanted to knock him out and turn the situation around. The soul shock strike might be powerful, but Yi Chen-feng had the heaven-defying God-eater brain in his mind, and the soul shock strike was unable to cause any damage to him. Illusion Dao pattern confusion. Just as Kuei continued to attack, Yi Chen-feng shot out an illusion Dao pattern from his eyes and attacked Kuei's eyes. The soul spirit defensive rare treasure that Gu Yu gave her might have neutralized 80% of the 30 illusion Dao patterns, but the remaining 20% of the illusion Dao patterns still caused her to have a slight delay in her reaction. Mystic Underworld Extreme Dao. Seizing this fleeting opportunity, Yi Chen-feng executed his killer move again. He blasted out the Mystic Underworld power, which was like a frenzied dragon. It heavily bombarded Kuei's body and sent her flying. What? Gu Yu originally thought that Kuei's soul shock strike could slightly turn the situation around, but the final result was Kuei collapsing with severe injuries. This set off a huge wave in her heart, and she immediately stood up from her seat. "You have lost. Do we still need to continue?" Yi Chen-feng looked at Kuei, whose silver mask had cracked and revealed an ordinary face, and spoke coldly. "I haven't lost. I can still fight." Kuei, who was covered in blood, took a deep breath and forcefully suppressed the injuries on her body. She quickly got up from the ground and continued to attack Yi Chen-feng, unwilling to admit defeat. However, Kuei was severely injured. Not only was her combat strength greatly reduced, but her movement speed was also reduced to 50% of her usual speed. As the power of the four spiritual pearls burst out, Yi Chen-feng blasted a fist at Kuei, who was closing in rapidly. The fist light, which was compressed to the extreme, sent her flying and landed heavily on the edge of the stage. "Kuei, you are not a match for him. Don't fight anymore." At this moment, Gu Yu, who was standing on the spectator's stand and had a unique temperament, saw that Kuei's momentum was gone. She helplessly sighed in her heart and spoke. "Yes, Pavilion Lord." Kuei, who was severely injured, didn't dare to disobey Gu Yu's words. She bit her lips and looked at Yi Chen-feng with reluctance before admitting defeat. After defeating Gu Yu, a large amount of dragon chi immediately surged out of the stage. The strength of the dragon chi was almost equivalent to the sum of Yi Chen-feng's 7 group matches. When the dragon pattern on Yi Chen-feng's forehead merged with all of the dragon chi, his dragon chi body was almost complete. A trace of dragon chi was emitted from his body, and he was imposing without being angry. This week, I will post a picture of Ji Qingxue. Next week, I will post a picture of Bai Xia. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Say button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 562. After the third round ended, Mo Qianxin, Yu Yiheng, Ziyun, and Xiao Liufu entered the arena for the final round. Although Zi Yun managed to break out of the encirclement in the fifth group and had the heavenly silkworm transformation, the difference in strength between him and Mo Qinshin was too great. In less than half an incense stick's worth of time, he lost and stopped in the top 16. However, the heavenly silkworm ridge's master, Qi Tianshui, was very satisfied with this result and had a smile on his face. Mo Qinshin and Zi Yun's match ended early, but Yu Yiheng and Xiao Liufu fought for nearly 2 hours before the outcome was decided. In the end, Yu Yiheng relied on his advantage in cultivation to suppress Xiao Liufu, the number 1 genius of the Black Evil Grotto, and advanced to the top 8. At this point, the top 8 of the Dragon Lake Sacred City were all decided. They were Yu Zhongtian, Yu Bingyu, Mo Wang, Yu Yiheng, Heisher Tuji, Yi Chenfeng, and Mo Qinshin. After the top 8 was decided, Mo Qinli went up the stage again and organized the 8 to draw lots for the top 4. In Heisher Tuji, when the lot was drawn, Yi Chenfeng found out his opponent and secretly let out a sigh of relief. He revealed a smile that was hard to detect. Heisher Tuji's performance in the previous rounds was impeccable, but his strength was still lacking compared to Yu Zhongtian, Yu Bingyu, and Mo Wang. As long as he didn't face any of them in the top 4, it would be a good draw. Heisher Tuji was very satisfied with the result of the draw. He looked at Yi Chenfeng with high fighting spirit. He wanted nothing more than to immediately fight Yi Chenfeng and have a proper competition. All right, today's competition is over. The top 4 will begin tomorrow morning. After the lot was drawn, Mo Qianli announced loudly. Just as the group of people from the profound underworld sect followed the bustling crowd and left the arena, an old man with white hair and a youthful complexion wearing a star and moon martial arts suit suddenly appeared and blocked their path. Seeing the old man with a dense aura, Shui Yurua's expression changed slightly and she became nervous. This old man was the Yu family's 3rd elder, Yu Qinyuan. Elder Qinyuan, may I know why you suddenly stopped us? Shui Yurua tried her best to appear calm as she squeezed out a charming smile and softly asked, I'm here to look for him. Yu Qin slowly said as he looked at Yi Chenfeng, who had piqued his interest. Su Mingwei, I've watched all of your matches. I'm very satisfied with your talent and strength. I wonder if you're willing to take me as your master? If you're willing, after the Dragon Lake Sacred City martial competition ends, I can bring you to the Yu family and provide you with unimaginable cultivation resources in the Western continent, helping you to soar into the sky. Yu Qinyuan went straight to the point. As soon as Yu Qinyuan finished speaking, Shui Mo sang, Hong Lin, and the rest all shot their gazes towards Yi Chenfeng, envious of his fortuitous encounters and luck. This was especially true for Shui Mo sang, who was so jealous that he went crazy. He was jealous that Yi Chenfeng was favored by the Yu family's 3rd elder, Yu Qinyuan, and even took the initiative to suggest taking him in as a disciple. On the other hand, Shui Yurua's heart was in her throat. She was afraid that Yi Chenfeng would agree to it and let her efforts go to waste. Just as everyone was looking at Yi Chenfeng with envy, Yi Chenfeng spoke. The moment he opened his mouth, everyone was stunned. Thank you, Elder Qinyuan, for your kindness. However, I don't wish to leave the mysterious underworld sect. I'm afraid I can't be your disciple. Rejected? He actually rejected. When they heard that Yi Chenfeng had rejected Yu Qinyuan, everyone present was dumbfounded. They looked at him as though they were looking at a monster. They couldn't figure out what was going on in his mind. Even Yu Qinyuan was stunned. He didn't even think that Yi Chenfeng would reject him. He opened his mouth wide and didn't say a single word for a long time. As for Shui Yurua and Shui Honghen, they were surprised. This was especially so for Shui Yurua, who was so excited that her face turned red. Secmaster, let's go. After speaking, Yi Chenfeng didn't dawdle. Under Yu Qinyuan's gradually gloomy gaze, he left with the mysterious underworld sex group. Secmaster, I am going into seclusion to recuperate. During this period of seclusion, remember not to let anyone disturb me. I need to do my best to prepare for tomorrow's battle with Heisher Tuji. After following the elated Shui, to the ancient courtyard, Yi Chunfeng immediately spoke. Don't worry, Mingwei. With me around, no one will disturb you. When Yi Chunfeng rejected Yu Qinyuan's disciple in front of everyone, Shui Yuruo was overjoyed. She was completely at ease with him. She looked at him with charming eyes and promised with a smile. When they arrived at the temporary ancient house, Yi Chunfeng immediately set up an array pattern restriction in the room and sealed the ancient house. He circulated the soul-devouring art and concealed his aura. Then, he left silently through the hole that he dug earlier. After more than 1 hour, Yi Chunfeng appeared in a remote corner of the Dragon Lake sacred city. After repeatedly sensing the surroundings, he quickly drilled out of the hole and quietly headed for the abandoned stone hall. After a few twists and turns, Yi Chunfeng finally entered the abandoned stone hall with his powerful soul spirit perception. He sneaked into the mysterious space below the stone hall. As expected, the Sword Dao tablet is about to crumble. Looking at the spiderweb-like cracks on the surface of the Dao tablet, Yi Chunfeng knew that there wasn't much time left for him to fully comprehend the Sword Dao intent. He immediately calmed down and controlled the God-Eater brain to radiate a large amount of soul spirit power into the Sword Dao tablet to speed up his deduction. 36 Sword Dao patterns, 37, 38. Yi Chunfeng was like a statue as he sat cross-legged and deduced for more than 8 hours. When the God-Eater brain engraved the 38th Sword Dao pattern, the strange heartbeat sounded again. In the next moment, a pitch-black demonic energy gushed out from the Sword Dao tablet like a surging tide and surged into the Sword Dao tablet. Buzz, buzz, buzz. When the demonic energy appeared, the mysterious sword that was inserted into the Sword Dao tablet continued to fuse with the Sword Dao tablet's energy to counterattack, interrupting Yi Chunfeng's comprehension of the Sword Dao intent. Crack, crack. The demonic energy and the mysterious sword clashed intensely for half an hour. Then, a series of cracking noises came from the sword of Dao steel. After enduring the two terrifying forces, the Sword Dao tablet continued to crumble. Waves of chilling black, demonic aura seeped out from the Sword Dao tablet's cracks and permeated the air. After more than 1 hour, the demonic energy was once again crushed by the mysterious sword. The strange heartbeat also disappeared. However, this time, the Sword Dao tablet was already fragmented and was on the verge of shattering. Yi Chunfeng had a feeling that when the demonic energy appeared again, this Sword Dao tablet might completely crumble. At this moment, he was only 2 more Sword Dao patterns away from comprehending the Sword Dao intent to the 4th firmament. He decided to take the risk and continue comprehending until the God-Eater brain engraved all 40 Sword Dao patterns. He would then forcefully pull out the mysterious sword and leave this place of great danger. 39 Sword Dao patterns. Just 1 more, and I'll succeed. Yi Chunfeng cleared his mind of distracting thoughts and comprehended for more than 2 hours. The high-speed deduction of the God-Eater brain engraved another Sword Dao pattern. He was only 1 more Dao pattern away from the 4th firmament of the Sword Dao intent. At this moment, the strange heartbeat sounded again, causing the fragmented Sword Dao tablet to tremble. God-Eater brain, speed up the deduction. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and suppressed the uneasiness in his heart. He controlled the God-Eater brain to race against time to engrave the 40th Sword Dao pattern. Just as the strange heartbeat got faster and faster, the demonic energy that frightened Yi Chunfeng appeared again. The God-Eater brain finally engraved the 40th Sword Dao pattern. Swish! Yi Chunfeng immediately opened his eyes and skimmed across the sky. He stood on the fragmented Sword Dao tablet and bit his finger. He held the restless, mysterious sword tightly and allowed the blood from his finger to merge into the sword. Open! The mysterious sword was infused with a large amount of blood. Yi Chunfeng quickly condensed 30 sword-type Dao patterns and infused them into the mysterious sword. His arms erupted with a force of 5 million kilograms as he forcefully pulled the mysterious sword out of the shattered Dao steel. Boom! The moment the mysterious sword was pulled out by Yi Chunfeng, a horrific energy gushed out from the Sword Dao tablet and shattered it. It revealed a pitch-black demon heart that was violently beating and emitting endless demonic aura. Universe Mirror Keep. When the strange demon heart appeared, Yi Chunfeng immediately kept the restless, mysterious sword that was trying to break free from his control into the universe mirror. He then flew towards the mysterious space with extreme speed. Roar! When the space-swallowing bug bit through the space restriction and Yi Chunfeng left the mysterious space, a deafening roar was released from the demon heart. The terrifying sound directly collapsed the space and caused the entire Dragon Lake sacred city to tremble. Mobile reading website. Book address. To facilitate your next reading, you can click Save at the bottom to record this reading. You'll be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 563. What's that sound? Mo Fengyun was sitting cross-legged in an ancient pavilion in Longyuan Sacred City, absorbing the dragon aura in the air to cultivate, when he was suddenly awakened by the roar released by the demon heart. He looked out the window. When he vaguely saw a black pillar of light shooting into the sky through the endless night, he frowned and quickly turned into a black light before disappearing from the room. Not only was Mo Fengyun alarmed by the roar released by the demon heart, but the two elders of the Yu family, the demon Taoist, Mo Qianli, and the other combat beast emperors also rushed over to check what was going on. Just as Mo Fengyun and the rest appeared in the abandoned stone hall that was shaking violently and had collapsed, Yi Chunfeng, who was injured by the terrifying demonic aura and spat out blood, flew out of the stone hall. However, when he escaped to the stone hall, Yi Chunfeng's powerful soul spirit had already sensed the presence of Mo Fengyun and the rest. Therefore, he decisively controlled the illusion Dao pattern to change his appearance. Where are you running to? When Mo Fengyun saw that Yi Chunfeng was escaping, his body flashed and turned into a stream of light to intercept him, wanting to capture him. However, at this moment, the demon heart that was chasing relentlessly chased after him like a black meteor. It released a terrifying demonic aura that filled the air and swallowed the bright moonlight. In the next moment, the rapidly wriggling demonic heart released an endless suction force, sucking in the energy above the Dragon Lake sacred city and fusing it into the heart. A human figure was faintly formed. The two of you, use all your strength to chase after that person. Don't let him escape. Seeing this strange scene, Mo Fengyun decisively gave up on chasing after Yi Chunfeng and turned back. The two elders of the Western Devil sect, who were Class 6 defiant Beast Kings, condensed soul wings under his orders and used all their strength to chase after Yi Chunfeng, who was escaping to the outskirts of Longyuan Sacred City. Sect Master Mo, do you know what this thing is? Yu Qinyuan looked at the rapidly pulsing demon heart that was crazily devouring the energy in Longyuan Sacred City and asked Mo Fengyun in a low voice. I don't know. Feeling the terrifying power contained in the demon heart, Mo Fengyun's face turned extremely gloomy. He had an inexplicable sense of uneasiness in his heart. Let's not waste any more time. Let's attack together and seal this demon heart first. I feel that if we delay any longer, its energy will soar to an unimaginable level. The oldest demonic Taoist sensed the dangerous aura emanating from the demonic heart. He decisively took out the high-grade heaven artifact, Blood Fiend Heavenly Saber, and urged in a low voice. All right, Mo Fengyun and the other two beast emperors said in unison. They merged with their spiritual beasts and burned their bloodline power to transform into their strongest beast soul forms, launching fierce attacks at Mo Xin. Ao. Being attacked by four beast emperors at the same time, Mo Fengyun and the other beast emperors, Mo Xin let out an angry roar. The phantom suddenly materialized and turned into a black man with a pair of blood-red bone wings. He was abnormally strong and muscular, and he punched out. The 5 powerful attacks collided with each other like meteors colliding. The burst of bright energy illuminated the dark sky as if it was daytime. The terrifying collision force was like a magnificent army tumbling in the air, directly causing the abandoned stone palace to collapse. Demon, he seems to be from the demon race. Why would an expert from the demon race appear in Lonyuan's sacred city? Looking at the man with blood-red bone wings, the two elders of the Yu family, who were pure demon cultivators, had a slight change in expression. They immediately recognized that the man transformed by Moxian was exactly the same as the expert from the demon race recorded in the Yu family's ancient books. Demon race. Hearing Yu Qinyuan's exclamation, Mo Fengyun and the demonic Taoist's expression changed. They didn't expect Lonyuan's sacred city to seal the heart of a demon race expert. I, the demon, have reappeared. Obediently offer your life and blood. Moxian let out a ferocious roar. The blood-red bone wings on his back flapped violently. With a thick blood aura, he attacked Mo Fengyun and the other four, wanting to kill them and devour their blood. Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat, quickly come out and help. Moxian's threat was too great. Facing his ferocious attacks, Mo Fengyun didn't dare to be careless. He decisively summoned the Grade 8 Heavenly Beast, Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat, and ordered it to attack with all its might. When Mo Fengyun summoned the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat, Yu Qinyuan also summoned the two level 7 Heavenly Beasts, Black Jiao Dragons, to attack Mo together. Under the attack of Mo Fengyun and the other four, as well as the three powerful Heavenly Beasts, Mo's attack was completely suppressed. Endless energy filled the sky, distorting a large area of space. So terrifying. What exactly happened in Lonyuan's sacred city? Who was that person with the bone wings on his back fighting with Sect Master Mo and the others? This is too terrifying. What big secret is hidden in Lonyuan's sacred city? The commotion caused by the battle between Mo Fengyun and the others in Mo was so huge that it shocked all the experts in Lonyuan's sacred city. When they rushed to the vicinity of the Stone Hall of Waste, they were stunned by the scene before them. Heavenly Demon Dance. After suppressing Mo's attack, Yu Qinyuan and Yu Hong decisively executed the Yu family's low-grade Dao formula, Heavenly Demon Dance. Two 5-meter-tall, demonic shadows appeared around Yu Qinyuan's body. They held demonic weapons and attacked Mo with a shocking demonic aura. Demonic technique. I didn't expect you two humans to cultivate the demonic technique of my demon race. Looking at the demonic shadows formed by the Heavenly Demon Dance, Mo was surprised and shocked. Just as he was hesitating, the demonic shadows holding the demonic weapons attacked and tore apart the demonic aura released by Mo Dark Shadow Dao Spear. Seizing the opportunity when the demonic aura was torn apart, 40 dark Dao patterns and 20 shadow Dao patterns surged out of Mo Fengyun's body and merged into the supreme grade heaven artifact Long Spear in his hand. A black dragon-like spear light tore through the air. Intertwined with dark Dao patterns and shadow Dao patterns, it pierced through Mo's body and stabbed into his demonic heart. Roar! Mo Fengyun held the supreme grade heaven artifact Long Spear and executed the dark shadow Dao Spear attack. Mo wailed in pain as a bloody hole was pierced through his terrifying demonic heart. A large amount of demonic blood flowed out. With his demonic heart injured, the Crimson Blood Heavenly Bat, the two Black Flood Dragons, the Demon Taoist, and Mo Qianli's attacks came one after another. They bombarded Mo's body and aggravated his injuries. Lowly humans, I will kill all of you. Mo Fengyun's injuries continued to worsen as Mo Fengyun fell into a frenzy. Endless demonic aura was released from his demonic heart. It was like a sky full of snake shadows that attacked Mo Fengyun and the others. Kill him while he is down. Kill him with all your might. Facing Mo Fengyun's frenzied counterattack, Mo Fengyun and the others who were under immense pressure didn't retreat. They executed their trump cards and attacked Mo Fengyun ferociously, wanting to kill Mo Fengyun in one fell swoop. Skydance Devil Art, Skydance Shadow. When the endless demonic aura released by Mo Fengyun the demon Taoist, Mo Qianli, and the three heavenly beasts worked together to tear apart the demonic aura released by Mo Fengyun, the demon Taoist, and Mo Qianli. Yu Qinyuan and Yu Hong seized the opportunity and executed their killer moves. The demonic shadows that emerged from their bodies turned into crescent moons. It was like a waning moon that had fallen to the mortal world. They continuously struck Mo Fengyun's body and split his body open, exposing his demonic heart. Dark Shadow Dao Spear. With the appearance of the demonic heart, Mo Fengyun's entire body fused with the supreme-grade heaven artifact Long Spear, turning into a long spear that was a few times faster than the speed of light. On the tip of the black spear, the dark Dao patterns and shadow Dao intent intertwined and enhanced the attack power of the spear. PFFF. The shadow Dao spear pierced through Mo Fengyun's terrifying demonic heart like a hot knife through butter. The dark Dao intent within the Dao spear crazily destroyed Mo Fengyun's demonic heart, riddling it with holes. After being severely injured, Mo Fengyun's demonic heart was terrified. He wanted to break free and escape. However, under the obstruction of Mo Fengyun and the others, Mo Fengyun's demonic heart was firmly trapped in midair, unable to break free and escape. Just as Mo Fengyun and the others gathered all their strength and attacked Mo Fengyun's demonic heart with all their might, Yi Chanfeng, who had escaped to the outskirts of Longyuan Sacred City, was intercepted by two level 6 defiant Beast Kings of the West Devil Sect. The WeChat public number, YLTY83, saw the photo. It was sent to Ji Qingxue today. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 564. Don't run. Leave your life behind obediently. A white-haired West Devil Sect elder roared. Holding a mid-grade heaven tier spear, he stabbed it towards Yi Chunfeng's back, wanting to pierce through his body. You want to keep me here? I'm afraid you aren't qualified. Mo Fengyun and the rest were busy attacking Mo Xen, while the other faction's experts were attracted by Mo Xen and would not appear. Yi Chanfeng, who had escaped to the outskirts of Dragon Lake Sacred City, no longer had any worries. He ignited his dragon bloodline without hesitation, increasing his strength and transforming into a half-human, half-dragon beast soul form. A fist bombarded the West Devil Sect's elders' shocking spear. Boom! Yi Chenfeng's fist was covered in thick dragon scales and was comparable to a high-grade heaven artifact's fist collided with a mid-grade heaven artifact spear in the West Devil Sect elder's hand. 5 million gene of strength and dragon force erupted at the same time. The terrifying fist light forcibly bent the mid-grade heaven artifact long spear. A powerful shockwave passed through the long spear and into the West Demon Sect elder's arm, causing his arm to go numb and cracks to appear on the surface of his skin. Beast Soul Form. Battle Beast Emperor Expert. Seeing Yi Chunfeng instantly transforming into a beast soul form, the other West Devil Sect elder was dumbfounded and forgot to attack. No, he is definitely not a Battle Beast Emperor Expert. He must have used a secret technique to forcibly transform his form. The West Devil Sect elder who fought Yi Chunfeng earlier clearly felt that Yi Chunfeng's realm was definitely not a Battle Beast Emperor. He must have used a secret technique to transform into a half-dragon, half-human form. Let's join hands and capture him. Okay. After speaking, the two of them ignited their spiritual beast bloodlines and launched a fierce attack at Yi Chunfeng. They wanted to use their strength to heavily injure Yi Chunfeng and capture him to force out his secrets. Capture me? You guys are too naive. Although Yi Chunfeng had yet to reach the realm of a Battle Beast Emperor, if he used his trump card, he would be able to kill a level 1 Battle Beast Emperor expert. Looking at the West Devil Sect's elders who were attacking him from both sides, 5 killing halos appeared behind him. Rolling killing energy gushed out from his body. 4 slaughter styles, eternal night. A sword light that was as black as ink soared into the sky. It was fused with the power of slaughter, the sword Tao pattern, and the power of 5 million kilograms. It was as though it was going to split the heaven and earth apart as it slashed towards the two of them. The instant the eternal night sword radiance came slashing down, the world turned pitch black. Even the bright moonlight was swallowed up in an instant. It was as if the only thing left in the world was this invincible divine sword that could split the heavens and split the earth. Not good. Feeling the terror of the eternal night sword light, the two West Devil Sect elders' expressions changed greatly. They used all of their skills to block it. However, Yi Qinfeng's attack power was too terrifying. The eternal night sword light that was fused with 30 sword Dao patterns could even severely injure a Grade 1 combat B sovereign, let alone the two of them. Chi-chi. The sound of cloth being torn rang out as the attacks launched by the two of them were directly torn apart by the eternal night sword light. One of the elders of the West Demon Sect, who was unable to dodge in time, was cut in half by the eternal night sword light and died on the spot. Gulp. Seeing the miserable death of his companion, the remaining West Demon Sect elder gulped down a mouthful of saliva. He was so scared that he lost 2 of his 3 souls. He decisively gave up on attacking Yi Qinfeng and wanted to turn around and escape. It's too late to run now. Yi Qinfeng executed the wind riding technique and intercepted him with an ear-piercing sound. Great Demon slaying Dragon Blade. After being obstructed by Yi Qinfeng, the West Demon Sect elder, who had fallen into deep fear, went all out. He unleashed all of his trump cards and stimulated his body's greatest potential and strength. His entire body fused with the mid-grade heaven artifact battle blade in his hand, turning into a demonic dragon-like blade light, and slashed towards Yi Qinfeng. Looking at the whistling Great Demon slaying Dragon Blade, Yi Qinfeng didn't dodge and allowed the demonic dragon-like blade light to slash his body. Kacha! The Great Demon slaying Dragon Blade cut through the blood dragon scales, covering Yi Qinfeng's body like a hot knife through butter. However, when it slashed his body, it felt like it was slashing on 10,000-year-old black iron. A powerful rebound force forcibly broke the Great Demon slaying Dragon Blade, causing his blood and chi to churn, making him want to vomit blood. What kind of body is this? Feeling the numbness from his arms, the West Demon Sect elder fell into deep despair and panic. He couldn't believe that Yi Qinfeng was actually able to block his strongest attack with just his physical body. Just as he was about to use the blood escape technique to escape, Yi Qinfeng blasted out the Great Sun Heavenly Fire Fist. It was like a blazing sun crushing space and bombarding his chest, shattering his sternum and sending him flying. He fell heavily on the ground and couldn't get up. It's over. You can also go to hell. In the next moment, Yi Qinfeng appeared behind him and used the soul-devouring art to devour his spiritual beast, ending his life. After killing the 2 West Demon Sect elders in the outskirts of the Dragon Lake Sacred City, Yi Qinfeng immediately controlled the universe mirror to take away their belongings. His body flashed slightly, and he disappeared into the night. Taking advantage of the chaos, he returned to the ancient courtyard where the mystic underworld sect was temporarily staying. At the same time, Mo Fengyun was fighting the Beast Emperor. The 3 heavenly beasts had already severely injured Mo Xn. The demonic roars from Mo Xn were getting weaker and weaker. Lowly humans, you would better let this saint go. Otherwise, when this saint is completely free, I will exterminate your entire clan. Mo Xn, who was severely injured and unable to escape, let out a savage roar and threatened. I'll be waiting. Mo Fengyun was unmoved. He continued to attack Mo Xin with his supreme grade heaven artifact spear and almost destroyed 90% of Mo Xin's bloodline. Demonic blood stains the blue sky explode. As more and more demonic blood was drained from Mo Xin's heart, Mo Xin did not hesitate to detonate the demonic blood. A terrifying energy was released from Mo Xin's heart, like a volcanic eruption. It destroyed Mo Fengyun and the others' attacks and forcefully blasted them away. In the next moment, the weakened Mo Xian seized this last opportunity and turned into a black light, rushing into the black sky. He wanted to take advantage of the chaos to escape. Blood Skull suppress. At the crucial moment, Mo Fengyun summoned the celestial Blood Skull. He used the Blood Skull's power to forcefully suppress Mo Xian, who had almost exhausted all his demonic energy. Dark Dao pattern seal. Following that, Mo Fengyun struck out 40 Dark Dao patterns and blasted them into Mo Xian. While devouring Mo Xian's consciousness, he forcefully sealed Mo Xian. After successfully sealing Mo Xian, Mo Fengyun appeared beside Mo Xian in a flash. He took out a dagger, cut open his own chest, grabbed Mo Xian, and pressed it into his chest. Boom! The moment Mo Xian fused with Mo Fengyun's body, an earth-shattering demonic energy was released from his body. It shattered his flesh and bones and destroyed his physical body. Dark Dao intent suppress. Seeing that Mo Fengyun's physical body was destroyed due to the backlash from Mo Xian, Mo Fengyun used the 40 Dark Dao patterns to forcefully suppress Mo Xian. Grand Elder, I'll leave the aftermath to you. After suppressing Mo Xian, Mo Fengyun, who was covered in blood, instructed the Scarlet Blood Heavenly Bat and left. When Yu Qinyuan and Yu Hong saw that Mo Fengyun had snatched away the precious Mo Xian, they looked at each other and saw the helplessness and pity in each other's eyes. They could imagine that once Mo Fengyun refined the Mo Xian, his strength would definitely improve. By then, even if the Yu family stepped in, they wouldn't be able to snatch the Mo Xian from Mo Fengyun. However, when they thought that Dragon Lake Sacred City might be suppressing Mo Xian's other bodies, the two of them got excited. They were prepared to snatch Mo Xian's other bodies at all costs. They couldn't let such a rare opportunity slip away from them again. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 565. There's nothing for you to do here. You can all leave. Mo Qianli, who had consumed a lot of energy, took a deep breath and looked at the spectating experts from the various major powers. The Yu family, follow me. Feeling that Longyuan Sacred City was far more complicated than he had imagined, Yu Qinyuan immediately brought the Yu family to the ancient courtyard to discuss the plan. After the Yu family left, Mo Qianli also left with the experts from the Western Devil sect. Gradually, after witnessing the unprecedented battle, the various major powers of the Western continent left one after another. The chaotic Longyuan Sacred City gradually regained its calm. As for all this, Yi Chenfeng, who had sneaked into the ancient house through the underground tunnel, was unaware of it. At this moment, he took out the restless, mysterious sword from the universe mirror and prepared to carefully study it. This mysterious sword doesn't have a sword tip, sword edge, or sword case. It seems like the other parts of this sword might be suppressing the other parts of that ominous object. When Yi Chenfeng carefully studied the mysterious sword, he discovered that even though half of the sword had merged with it, it was still incomplete. It was missing a lot of important parts. Who left this sword behind? What is the ominous object it suppresses? Thinking about that mysterious demon heart, Yi Chenfeng felt that Longyuan Sacred City was definitely hiding a huge secret, and that secret was closely related to this mysterious sword in his hand. I wonder if I can completely recognize this broken sword as its owner. Will I be able to obtain some important information? Yi Chenfeng took a deep breath. He bit his finger and pressed it on the blade of the broken sword, which was made of a special material. It was like cold iron, and slowly infused his blood into the sword. Half an incense's time, 1 incense's time, 2 hours. Yi Chenfeng had been infusing his blood into the mysterious sword for more than 2 hours, but he still couldn't establish a connection with it. This made Yi Chunfeng give up on the idea of infusing his blood into the sword and think of other methods. God-Eater Brain, infiltrate. After pondering for a while, Yi Chunfeng controlled the God-Eater Brain's energy and sent it into the mysterious sword. He analyzed the structure of the mysterious sword and tried to understand its secrets. Yes, those are spiritual rosary beads. When the power of the God-Eater Brain seeped into the mysterious sword, he found that the blood he injected into the sword was slowly revolving around a bead that looked like a star, but it was unable to seep into it. Within the rosary beads, strands of blurry souls slowly flowed. God-devouring brain, God-devouring soul. Sensing that the soul in the prayer bead was unusual, Yi Chunfeng immediately controlled the power of the God-Eater Brain to penetrate the prayer bead and tried to devour the soul in the prayer bead. He had a feeling that if the soul in the rosary disappeared, he would be able to completely control this mysterious sword. The restriction on the surface of the beads was very strong, but the existence of the God-Eater Brain was even more heaven-defying. Slowly, the God-Eater Brain released its soul power into the beads, trying to devour the soul inside. In the next moment, a vast amount of soul power gushed out from the rosary beads and surged into Yi Chunfeng's mind, wanting to tear his soul apart. However, Yi Chunfeng's soul had been tempered thousands of times and was exceptionally strong. It was not something that the soul in the rosary beads could destroy. After resisting the spiritual attack of the rosary beads, a large amount of information appeared in Yi Chunfeng's mind, and this information was related to the mysterious sword. Emperor Sky Sword, a middle-grade Dao artifact that battles Sovereign Di Tian spent his entire life to refine. It contains the intent of the Sword Dao and can shatter the heavens and earth. Battle Sovereign Di Tian, a middle-grade Dao artifact. Yi Chunfeng might not have heard of Battle Sovereign Di Tian's name, but if he had the ability to refine a middle-grade Dao artifact, it was enough to show that his strength had reached the pinnacle of the Duhan continent. However, the soul power in the rosary beads did not contain any information about why the Emperor Sky Sword was broken or why the Emperor Sky Sword was suppressing a ferocious object. This made Yi Chunfeng feel that it was a pity. After about 15 minutes, the soul in the rosary beads was devoured by the God-Eater Brain, and the mysterious sword became an ownerless item. It successfully integrated with Yi Chunfeng's blood and no longer resisted him. The Emperor Sky Sword recognized its owner, and a large amount of white light suddenly surged out from the Emperor Sky Sword's hilt and entered Yi Chunfeng's mind, forming a mystical sword move. The first move of the Emperor Sky Sword art, Sword of the King. This sword art contains the power of the king. If successfully cultivated, it can sever fate and extinguish the great Tao. Sever fate and extinguish the great Tao? What a boastful statement. I wonder what level this Emperor Sky Sword art has reached. After quickly reading through the Emperor Sky Sword art's cultivation chant, Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath. He had developed a strong interest in the Emperor Sky Sword art and was prepared to study it thoroughly. If he could really master the first move of the Emperor Sky Sword art, Sword of the King, he should be able to defeat Yu Zhongqian, Mo Wuwang, and the others with the attacking power of this move. There is still more than 2 hours before daybreak. I will cultivate as much as I can. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and cleared his mind of distracting thoughts. He controlled the God-Eater Brain to quickly deduce the first move of the Emperor Sky Sword art and started to cultivate the Sword of the King. 2 hours passed in the blink of an eye. Soon, daybreak arrived. Yi Chunfeng, who was immersed in the process of cultivating the Emperor Sky Sword art, had no choice but to stop. He left the ancient house and met up with Shui Yuruo and the others before heading to the battleground. On the way to the battleground, Yi Chunfeng found out from Shui Yuruo about Mo Fengyun and the others' intense battle with the demon heart last night. When he found out that Mo Fengyun had sealed the demon heart at the last moment and fused it into his body, his heart skipped a beat and he felt extremely uneasy. This Mo Fengyun is indeed not simple. I wonder how strong he will be after fusing with the demon heart. Yi Chunfeng mumbled to himself. He had not expected Mo Fengyun to turn danger into opportunity. He was extremely impressed with his means and boldness. As expected, Mo Fengyun is not here. When Yi Chenfeng and the others arrive at the battleground, they did not see Mo Fengyun. Not only did Mo Fengyun not appear, but the two elders of the Yu family were also not present. Instead, the person from the demon sect appeared at the main spectator stand and was explaining something to the burly and naturally powerful He Shituji. Mingwei, He Shituji is very strong. You have to be careful when you fight with him. If you're no match for him, don't try to be brave to avoid any accidents. Before the battle, Shui Yuo reminded him sternly. Yi Chenfeng nodded and closed his eyes. He continued to control the God-Eater brain to deduce the Emperor Sky's sword art and cultivate the King's sword. He absorbed the dragon aura and strengthened the power of the two-headed Blood Dragon King. The two-headed Blood Dragon King continued to absorb the dragon aura in the dragon-shaped patterns. A trace of aura that belonged to a true divine beast appeared in its body. Its power continued to increase and became more and more terrifying. However, as the two-headed Blood Dragon King continued to absorb the dragon aura in the dragon-shaped patterns continued to decrease. Only half of the dragon aura was left. Just as Yi Chenfeng entered a state of cultivation in the noisy arena, the exciting battle for the top four began. According to the order of the draw, Mo Wuwang and Yu Yiheng's battle was the first to begin. Yu Yiheng was the number one genius of the Yu clan and had extraordinary talent. He broke through to the rank 5 reverse Beast King realm in less than 50 years and had a high chance of breaking through to the combat Beast Sovereign realm. However, compared to Mo Wuwang, who was a rank 6 reverse Beast King, there was still a big gap in strength. The moment the two of them exchanged blows, resplendent sparks of energy surged out and blossomed in the arena. Endless attacks intertwined, dazzling the eyes of the audience and making them exclaim in satisfaction. Water, Dark Dao Extreme. Facing Mo Wuwang's ferocious attacks, Yu Yiheng, who was under immense pressure, didn't dare to hold back. He executed his first killer move. The Dark Dao pattern and the Water Dao pattern surged out of his body and fused together. They formed a dark river that swept towards Mo Wuwang. 100 Battles Blood Shadow. Mo Wuwang roared as he took a ferocious step forward. Over 100 blood shadows shot out from his body, as though he was a group of warriors ready to charge into the underground river. The two powerful attacks collided fiercely, causing the entire space to distort slightly. In about 10 breaths of time, the 100 Battles Blood Shadow tore through the dark river and attacked Yu Yiheng, forcing him to retreat repeatedly. It's over. After breaking through Yu Yiheng's killer move, Mo Wuwang seized the opportunity when Yu Yiheng's blood was in turmoil to launch another wave of attacks. Wave after wave of attacks bombarded Yu Yiheng, suppressing his attacks. In the end, Mo Wuwang's terrifying attacks broke through his defenses and sent him flying. He lost the match. Mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this book. You'll be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 566. So Strong. This Mo Wuwang is truly worthy of being the #1 expert of the Western continent's younger generation. With this kind of strength, he can definitely contend against an emperor. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the battle between the two geniuses of the Yu family more and more. I'm sure the battle will be spectacular. After witnessing Mo Wuwang's absolute victory over Yu Yiheng, almost everyone was convinced by his shocking strength. Under the leadership of the Western demon sect, Mo Wuwang's name was gradually being mentioned in the arena. Bingyu, if you were to fight with Mo Wuwang, what are your chances of defeating him? Asked Yu Zhongqian, who was sitting calmly on the main viewing platform. His expression was neither happy nor sad as he looked at Yu Bingyu, who was wearing a tight martial arts robe. Her long legs were crossed, and she exuded a kind of wild beauty. Mo Wuwang is very strong. If I use all my trump cards, I estimate that I only have a 50% chance of winning. You looked at Mo Wuwang's proud back and said after a moment of thought, "Looks like you value this Mo Wuwang a lot." Yu Zhongtian revealed a rare smile. Not just anyone can become the #1 expert of the Western continent's younger generation. Moreover, I see the shadow of Mo Fengyun in him. Yu said, "Mo Fengyun." Yu Zhongtian's eyebrows twitched slightly as he recalled the method he used to forcibly merge with the demon heart last night. He nodded and said, "Mo Fengyun is indeed a character. However, if Mo Wuwang wants to grow to his level, he still has a long way to go. Yeah, even for us, if we want to reach Mo Fengyun's level, we need a great opportunity. However, this Dragon Abyss is a very good opportunity. If we can obtain the opportunity in the Dragon Abyss and return to the Yu family, we should be able to enjoy even more cultivation resources." Yu nodded and said, "Yes, we must obtain the opportunity in the Dragon Abyss this time." Yu Zhongtian nodded. His eyes that were as deep as the sea shot out a look of anticipation. "Su Mingwei, it's our turn." Just as the entire arena was chanting Mo Wuwang's name, a roar filled with battle intent exploded in the arena like thunder. In the next moment, He Shi Tuji, who was tall and burly with explosive muscles and emitted a strong sense of oppression, leaped up and landed on the arena like a moving meteor. The valiant way of entering the arena and the invincible aura made the noisy arena completely silent. Seeing He Shi Wuji's eyes filled with fighting spirit, Yi Chenfeng smiled and slowly stood up. He summoned his soul wings and slowly flew to the arena, landing in front of He Shi Wuji. "Bingyu, who do you think will have the last laugh in this competition?" Looking at the Black Rock Earth Pole who resembled Tarzan and Yi Chenfeng who made a low-key entrance, Yu Zhongtian took a sip of the spirit tea that emitted traces of spirit energy and asked with great interest, "This Blackstone Earth Pole is very strong, but I feel that Su Mingwei has a higher chance of winning." Yu Bingyu's beautiful phoenix eyes shone brightly. She looked at He Shi Tuji, who was full of fighting spirit, and Yi Chenfeng, who was calm. "Haha, I didn't expect you to favor that Su Mingwei." Yu Zhongtian revealed a trace of surprise. He put down the teacup in his hand and said with a smile, "Yes, I favor him more, and the reason is just a feeling." Yu nodded and said, "Feeling? A woman's sixth sense?" Yu Zhongtian said with a smile, "Let's wait and see. Maybe that Su Mingwei will really give us a surprise." Yu picked up the teacup, took a sip of tea, and said slowly, "Su Mingwei, I have been looking forward to fighting with you for a long time. Don't disappoint me." He Shi Tuji exuded a powerful aura and said with a high fighting spirit, "I will satisfy you." Yi Chenfeng said with a calm tone, making it impossible for others to see through his thoughts. Then let's fight. Let's see who is stronger." He Shi Tuji laughed arrogantly. His aura rose steadily, causing the corners of his clothes to flutter without wind, and his long black hair to dance wildly. The sound of beans being stir-fried rang out from his body, and numerous earthworm-like veins extended and twisted in his swollen muscles. Seeing He Shi Tuji's full strength, many people gasped. At this time, He Shi Tuji gave people the feeling that he was a humanoid monster. His terrifying aura made people feel like their guts were being torn apart. Facing the impact of He Shi Tuji's aura, Yi Chenfeng was like a boulder, unmoving. However, in the next moment, Yi Chenfeng's aura changed drastically. The killing intent in his body, which was made up of blood and bones, gushed out without reservation. Like a divine sword, it tore apart the aura released by Black Rock Earth Pole. Just as He Shi Tuji was shocked by Yi Chenfeng's terrifying killing intent, Yi Chenfeng moved. He took a step forward, and a thunderous sound rang out from under his feet. In a flash, he appeared in front of He Shi Tuji. The power of the four spiritual pearls erupted at the same time, and he punched towards He Shi Tuji's chest. Yi Chenfeng's punch was very sudden, but He Shi Tuji reacted quickly. Rolling power surged into his fist, and he met it with a punch. Boom! The two's fists collided, and millions of Jin of power erupted. The powerful rebounding force fluctuated, and dense water ripples appeared in the air. Yi Chenfeng and He Shi Tuji continued to unleash powerful attacks. Punch after punch, they bombarded each other. Their speed was so fast that it was too much for the eyes to take in. Boom, boom, boom. The two fought wantonly, using speed to fight speed and power to fight power. Terrifying shock waves spread out with their bodies as the center, causing the arena to shake violently. Too frightening. Their power is too frightening. I reckon that ordinary defiant beast kings would be crushed to death by the shock waves from their battle. He Shi Tuji is a monster, and I didn't expect Su Mingwei to be a monster as well. I wonder who will last until the end. Seeing the two's intense exchange, the stands were filled with cries of surprise. The atmosphere in the arena was also ignited bit by bit. Awesome, awesome. I haven't had such a good fight in a long time. The two exchanged thousands of blows in an extremely short period of time, and neither could do anything to the other. This battle to his heart's content made He Shi Tuji extremely satisfied. Big Dipper Tyrant Fist. He Shi Tuji's fist collided with Yi Chenfeng's, and he decisively changed his move. Thousands of kilograms of strength surged out of his body, shining brightly. With an incomparably tyrannical strength, it crushed towards Yi Chenfeng. Soul Suppressing Tablet. The Celestial Dipper Fist crushed through space. Yi Chenfeng also used a powerful soul skill. His entire body's strength and soul power fused together, condensing into a huge hand holding the soul-suppressing tablet and fiercely suppressing the Celestial Dipper Fist. Boom! The two soul skills collided, and the explosive force tore through layers of space. The terrifying shock waves scattered in the air, causing the entire space to become chaotic. Dang dang! Suffering the impact of the collision, Yi Chenfeng and He Shi Tuji's bodies trembled at the same time, and they were both forced back. However, Yi Chenfeng only took 3 steps back, while He Shi Tuji took 7 steps back before stabilizing his body. In a contest of strength, it was clear who was stronger and who was weaker at a glance. Looking for Monday's red packet, / remember the URL. Sandwich Chinese Network. Chapter 567. In terms of strength, He Shi Tuji actually lost. Too terrifying. That Su Mingwei is actually able to suppress He Shi Tuji, who is a rank 5 reverse beast king. He is definitely going to be the dark horse of this tournament. He Shi Tuji's strength is not limited to this. That Su Mingwei might have the upper hand in terms of strength, but it is almost impossible for him to truly defeat He Shi Tuji. I feel that the final victor will still be He Shi Tuji. Seeing the changes in the situation, the spectators on the viewing platform all expressed their opinions. However, with such a huge gap in strength, there were still more people who thought that He Shi Tuji would have the last laugh. Su Mingwei, you are a good opponent. However, the final victor will definitely be me. I'm going to use my weapon. As he spoke, He Shi Tuji's yin and yang ring flashed with red light, and a crimson axe appeared in his hand. The axe was engraved with a large number of fire runes, and it weighed over 5,000 kilograms. It was a high-grade heaven artifact. This heavy axe was called the Bloodthirsty Heaven Axe. It was the high-grade heaven artifact that Mo Dao had won from Mo Fengyun in a bet. It is still too early to talk about the victor. Yi Chenfeng smiled as the broken Emperor's Sky sword appeared in his hand. The moment the Emperor's Sky sword appeared, the entire arena was in an uproar. Everyone was astonished that Yi Chenfeng wanted to use a broken sword to fight against He Shi Tuji. How dare you humiliate me? When He Shi Tuji saw the broken Emperor's Sky sword in Yi Chenfeng's hand, he was instantly infuriated. His entire body exploded with a suffocating power as he attacked Yi Chenfeng. Chi! The axe cleaved down, and there was the sound of cloth being torn apart. The terrifying axe light swept through the air as it cleaved down at Yi Chenfeng. He Shi Tuji's axe cleaved down, but Yi Chenfeng didn't dodge. Sword-type Dao patterns gushed out of his body, and his aura instantly changed. His invincible and overbearing aura instantly became incomparably sharp. His entire body was like a divine sword that had been unsheathed, and his sword swept out in all directions. Tai sword art. Yi Chun-Feng flicked his wrist, and 10 sword Dao patterns shot out like water ripples. They surged in midair and densely attacked He Shi Tu's axe radiance. Even though Yi Chun-Feng rarely used the supreme grade heavenly skill, the Tai sword art, which he had learned in the Death Ridge, the Tai sword art's attack power wasn't weak at all. In addition to the amplification of the sword-based Dao pattern, it directly broke through He Shi Tu's axe light. The remaining power didn't diminish as it pierced towards He Shi Tu's body. Earth Dao Insight Defense. He Shi Tuji raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect Yi Chun-Feng to break through his attack so easily. 20 Earth Dao patterns surged out from his body, forming a defensive light shield that blocked the Tai sword art's attack. Xianming Extreme Dao. The moment He Shi Tuji used the concept of Earth to block the Tai sword art, Yi Chun-Feng didn't give him any chance to take a breather. 30 illusory Dao patterns, 1 illusory Dao pattern, and 10 sword Dao patterns fused together to form a destructive attack. It swept up billowing air currents like a tornado that traversed the void and blasted towards He Shi Tuji. Earth Dao Insight, Triple Defense. He Shi Tu knew how terrifying the Xianming Extreme Dao was. 30 Earth Dao patterns surged out from his body and formed an impregnable defensive wall in front of him, blocking the Xianming Extreme Dao's attack that was like sand being washed away by waves. Boom, 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 boom. When the Xianming Extreme Dao bombarded the wall formed by the 30 Earth Dao patterns, there was a series of explosions. The powerful attacks continued to explode on the wall, shattering the Earth Dao patterns one by one. Tai sword art, horizontal sword slash. Just as the Xianming Extreme Dao blasted apart the Earth Dao Insight wall, Yi Chun-Feng's entire body merged with the Empyrean Heaven sword in his hand and pierced out a 10-foot thick sword light. It tore through the air and sliced through all obstacles as it pierced the Earth Dao Insight wall. Gotcha! The Earth Dao Insight wall was penetrated by Yi Chun-Feng's horizontal sword slash. Before He Shi Tu could react, the extremely sharp sword light's remaining power struck his strong shoulder, leaving a bloody hole on his shoulder. Large amounts of blood flowed out. He is injured. He Shi Tu is injured. Oh gosh, could Su Mingwei be a sword Dao genius as well? This is too terrifying. I originally thought that He Shi Tu had a strong foundation. I didn't expect Su Mingwei's foundation to be even stronger than his. It seems like Su Mingwei really has the possibility of defeating He Shi Tu's instant kill. After piercing through He Shi Tu's shoulder, Yi Chun-Feng followed up with another attack. His entire body merged with the Empyrean Heaven sword again and turned into an extremely fast sword shadow. It blended with the sharp sword Dao pattern and pierced towards He Shi Tu's throat. Yi Chun-Feng's attack was too fast. It was so fast that He Shi Tu didn't have time to dodge. Just as He Shi Tu's throat was pierced by Yi Chun-Feng's instant kill, He Shi Tu's body suddenly shot out boundless earth light. A large amount of Earth Dao pattern gathered in front of him and formed the Earth Dao Insight wall again, blocking Yi Chun-Feng's sword that was as fast as lightning. 40 Earth Dao patterns. 4th stage, Earth Dao Insight. Seeing that the Earth Dao Insight wall contained 40 Earth Dao patterns, Yi Chun-Feng's brows lifted slightly and revealed a trace of shock. He was shocked by He Shi Tu's comprehension of the Earth Dao Insight. Not only did Yi Chun-Feng reveal a shocked expression, but the spectators on the spectators' stand also let out exclamations of shock. He Shi Tu's comprehension of the Earth Dao Insight had deeply shocked their hearts and made them feel reverence. I didn't expect you to actually force me to use my final trump card. You are really surprising me more and more. After condensing 40 Earth Dao patterns, He Shi Tu, who had obtained a chance to catch his breath, took a deep breath and suppressed the surging blood in his body. He said in a deep voice, however, it is time for this match to end. Why? Do you think I can't break through your defense? Even though the Earth Dao Insight's defense was extremely terrifying, Yi Qianfeng still had a way to break it. A large amount of sword Dao patterns spurted out and revolved around his body, forming a hazy sword rain. Tai Sword Art, Horizontal Sword Slash. After raising his sword Dao to the second level, Yi Qianfeng executed the horizontal sword slash again and attacked He Shi Tuesday. With a thrust of the sword, 20 sword Dao patterns were wantonly released. They were extremely sharp, and the terrifying horizontal sword slash was extremely powerful. It pierced into the Earth Dao Insight wall formed by the 40 Earth Dao patterns. Gotcha! After being attacked by the horizontal sword slash, the Earth Dao Insight wall wasn't pierced through. However, cracks still appeared on the surface of the Earth Dao Insight wall. 5 million pounds of force break. Just as everyone thought that Yi Qianfeng wouldn't be able to break through the Earth Dao Insight wall formed by He Shi Tu, the power of the 4 spiritual pearls burst out like a surging tide and poured into the Emperor Sky Sword. The Emperor Sky Sword might be severely damaged, and all the offensive array patterns were broken. However, it was still a middle-grade Dao artifact, and its toughness was beyond the scope of a heaven artifact. Break! Feeling that the attacking power of the Emperor Sky Sword had been activated, Yi Qianfeng burst out with a roar. He gripped the Emperor Sky Sword tightly with both hands and exerted force. He pierced through the Earth Dao Insight wall with an irresistible force. What? Seeing the impregnable Earth Dao Insight wall being pierced through by the damaged Emperor Sky Sword, He Shi Tu raised his eyebrows and revealed a look of disbelief. His body flashed as he decisively dodged. However, the moment he dodged, an afterimage appeared beside him and sealed off the space he could dodge. Mystic Underworld Extreme Dao. Yi Qianfeng burst out with a roar and seized the opportunity when He Shi Tu dodged hastily. Once again, he struck the Mystic Underworld Extreme Dao on his body. Following a loud sound, He Shi Tu's body defense was broken through by the Mystic Underworld Extreme Dao. The terrifying Mystic Underworld Extreme Dao smashed onto his body and sent him flying dozens of meters away. He almost fell out of the arena and lost the match. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blogs, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 568. Oh my god, is He Shi Tu going to lose? That Su Mingwei's attack power is too terrifying. Even the 4th layer of Earth Dao intent couldn't withstand his attack. Witnessing the scene of He Shi Tu being blasted away by Yi Qianfeng, the spectators were so shocked that their eyeballs were about to fall out. What a powerful attack power. Where did this kid come from? He actually has the strength to suppress He Shi. The demon Taoist's expression instantly turned gloomy. The development of the battle had completely exceeded his imagination. He couldn't accept that He Shi Tu, who had inherited his legacy, was actually countered by Yi Qianfeng in every aspect. Luo Mo, it's not a shame that you lost him. Su Mingwei has hidden his strength too deeply. I'm afraid he still has trump cards that he hasn't used yet. He Shi Tu might not be a match for him. The Three Corpses sect master, who had been brooding, looked at Yi Qianfeng with flickering eyes. Although he really wanted Yi Qianfeng to lose the battle, after witnessing Yi Qianfeng's stunning performance, he had to admit that Yi Qianfeng was indeed qualified to occupy a spot in the top 4. Su Mingwei, you are really powerful. You actually broke through my defense. However, the final victory will belong to me. Accept my final attack. He Shi Tu wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and climbed up from the ground. He held the high-grade heaven artifact, Bloodthirsty Sky Axe, and launched his final attack at Yi Qianfeng. At the same time, a violent earth bear that was tens of meters tall and emitted a violent aura appeared behind him. It let out a ferocious roar at Yi Qianfeng. Bloodline ignition, berserk demon. He Shi Tu roared. The violent Earth Bear's bloodline was completely ignited. He fell into a berserk state as his strength rose steadily. 9 berserk axes. First axe. With a chop of the axe, the terrifying berserk power and bloodline power fused together, forming a shocking blood axe. It slashed through the sky, separated the void, and slashed towards Yi Chunfeng in an overbearing manner. Tai sword technique, one-word banana. Yi Chunfeng's entire body erupted with strength of 5 million kilograms. 20 sword Dao patterns fused into the Emperor Sky's broken sword as it slashed across the chaotic space and cleaved down on the 9 axes crazed devil. Rumble. The moment the 2 attacks collided, it was as if 2 meteorites had crashed into each other, setting off a torrential shockwave that swept across the entire arena, crashing into the bodies of Yi Chunfeng and He Shi Tuji. 9 mad demon axes. Second axe. Just as Yi Chunfeng used single banana to block crazed demon's axe, He Shi Tuji, who only knew how to kill in his frenzied state, chopped out a second time. 2 crimson-red axe lights slashed down from the sky, cutting through the torrential chi wave and one-word banana that swept up, heading straight for Yi Chunfeng. Boom! Boom! 2 loud sounds rang out. A deafening explosion rang out from the sturdy arena. Just as everyone widened their eyes and looked at Yi Chunfeng, who was in the middle of the shockwave. They wanted to see if Yi Chunfeng could block He Shi Tuji's attack, but they realized that Yi Chunfeng had disappeared. All of a sudden, a blurry wind shadow appeared midair. At the crucial moment, Jiang Yi executed the wind riding technique and dodged the 2 axes of the crazed devil. He appeared beside He Shi Tuji and released 20 sword Dao patterns, attacking He Shi Tuji. Not good. He Shi Tuji didn't expect Yi Chunfeng to be so fast. He flashed and quickly dodged. However, Yi Chunfeng's attack speed was too fast. Under the concentrated attack, He Shi Tuji, who was flying in midair, was forced to retreat. His blood and chi that he had just suppressed started to rumble again. Instant kill sword. Immediately after, Yi Chunfeng and the Emperor Sky's broken sword merged together and fused the sword Dao patterns. They continued to attack He Shi Tuji. The lightning-fast attacks were too much for He Shi Tuji to take in, and he was once again suppressed. Crazed devil, 3 axes, 4th axes. After being restrained by Yi Chunfeng's speed, He Shi Tuji, who was in the crazed devil state, became even crazier. He constantly executed the 9 crazed devil axes, which he inherited from the demon Taoist. He cleaved out shocking axes and counterattacked with all his might. However, Yi Chunfeng, who was executing the wind riding technique, was too fast. He Shi Tuji's crazed devil 3 axes couldn't even hit his body. Gradually, He Shi Tuji's energy consumption increased, and his attack speed started to show signs of slowing down. Such a familiar movement skill. Seeing Yi Chunfeng executing the wind riding technique, Mo, Qianli, Guyu, and the others frowned and felt a sense of déjà vu. However, they didn't think that Su Mingwei was actually Yi Chunfeng in disguise. A woman's 6th sense is indeed terrifying. If that He Shi Tuji doesn't have a trump card that can restrain Su Mingwei's speed, he will be powerless. Yu Zhongqian, who was drinking spirit tea, had a relaxed expression as he watched the intense exchange of moves between the 2. If He Shi Tuji had a way to restrain Su Mingwei's speed, he would have used it long ago. Moreover, his energy consumption is getting worse. He doesn't have a chance in this match. Yu Bingyu said faintly. After speaking, she closed her eyes and no longer paid attention to this fierce battle. Seeing Yu Bingyu closing her eyes to rest, Yu Zhongtian smiled faintly and closed his eyes as well. In their opinion, whether it was He Shi Tuji or Yi Chunfeng's advancement, they weren't a threat at all. The only person who could threaten them in this Dragon Lake Sacred City martial meet was Mo Wuwang. Dark Extreme Dao. Yi Chunfeng used his speed to dodge He Shi Tuji's 6 crazed devil axes and appeared above He Shi Tuji's head. Illusion Dao pattern, Sword Dao pattern, and Fire Dao pattern fused together and blasted out a terrifying Dark Extreme Dao force towards He Shi Tuji. At this critical moment, Heishur Tuji's arms erupted with thousands of kilograms of strength as he raised the high-grade heaven artifact, Bloodthirsty Sky Axe, to block with all his might. However, the destructive power of the dark extreme Tao force was too terrifying. When it hit the Bloodthirsty Sky Axe, the destructive power generated surged into Heishur Tuji's arms like a tide, causing his body to tremble and fall from the sky like a kite with a broken string. Heishur Tuji, you've lost. Yi Chunfeng, who was flapping his soul wings in the air, didn't chase after the heavily injured Heishur Tuji as he fell to the ground and spat out blood. Instead, he said emotionlessly, "Su Mingwei, let's talk about victory after you receive my final attack." Heishur Tuji took a deep breath and suppressed the roiling blood and injuries in his body. He quickly got up from the ground and roared loudly. In the next moment, Heishur Tuji's blood and spirit beast bloodline burned. He ignored his injuries and forcefully used the strongest attack he knew. Crazed Demon 7 Axes. A ball of bloody light exploded from Heishur Tuji's body. His arm, which had swelled to the limit, gripped the Bloodthirsty Sky Axe tightly. He instantly slashed out 7 axe lights, which carried a shocking destructive power, towards Yi Chunfeng. Emperor Heavenly Sword Technique, King's Sword. As Heishur Tuji used his strongest attack, Yi Chunfeng, who had comprehended a trace of the King's Sword, took a risk and used the Emperor Heavenly Sword Technique. The terrifying King's Sword slowly condensed and tore the space apart to form the Emperor Heavenly Sword, which went towards the crazed Demon 7 Axes. Yi Chunfeng was a little unfamiliar with using the King's Sword, and the King's Sword had not reached its attack limit. However, when it slashed against the crazed Demon 7 Axes, the attack of the King's Sword shocked heaven and earth. Boom! The violent explosion shook heaven and earth, and space started to distort. The area where the two of them were became blurry, and the restrictions around the arena trembled violently under the impact of this destructive power. Everyone in the stands was stunned by the terrifying destructive power. They stared at the chaotic battle arena, wanting to see who had won and who had lost. Black Rock Tuji, covered in blood, flew out of the Tiamat's wrath and fell out of the battle arena. He had lost the battle between a dragon and a tiger. Remember the website, Sandwich Chinese Network.